The Flyers getting ready to kick things off as we get set to go here in our game tonight. That'll be Miles Keenan, the junior kicker, teeing it up at his own 40-yard line. And back deep is Bingham Trowbridge, among others. There's the kick, and it'll be Trowbridge at the 5, right at the middle to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Hit, but keeps going out across the 25. He is hit and knocked down. Their defense looks like Matt Kitchen. Young man there got him from behind, knocked him down, and so it'll be 1st and 10 for Lone Peak. And they'll have it at their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, some of the Sky Mountain starters that are new. You got Marshall Smith for the Dixie Flyers. You got Day Famanua. It's a newcomer to the defense. You've also got Jake Staley. It's going to have a huge role playing in the middle of the field, as well as number 40, Buddy Stevenson. He's the one guy that is back from that defense a year ago, but they've got good secondary on the corners and good speed at the safety with Kitchen working his way up. He is starting this game tonight, even though he arrived just a couple weeks before school, transferring from Snow Canyon High School.
Yeah, Lone Peak out and immediately into the spread offense. Instead, they go with a handoff in the backfield, and there is nothing. In fact, they're going to lose a yard back to the 25-yard line. The handoff, but as soon as the ball got there, Devin, at least 2 and maybe 3 of the D Flyers were right there.
Yeah, and Peyton Wilgar, he was the guy I think that got there first. And Coach in the media day before the season was praising him and Peyton Hara, talking about how they are going to be huge this year.
Brock Jones, the quarterback, wearing number 8. This time they look to the far side, try to go that way, and there's just nothing there. The Flyers, at least the first 2 defensive plays, have given up. They gained 3, but they lost 2 the first, so combined 2 yards, 3rd and 8.
Well, and you throw that pass, and then boom, there's Tyson Miller. And really, if you're Kobe Freeman, the running back, you're like, uh-oh, I got nothing on this play.
All right, spread offense, and now we have a bubble to the near side, but we've got an offsides being whistled against the Dixie Flyers.
Yeah, Kaysen Reese, the near side DB. I don't know if he was in the neutral zone there or if he hopped across, but the near side official just pointed at the corner on the left side, which would indicate Kaysen Reese was to blame, the junior right there. And that's helpful. Now you're 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd down, about 3 yards to go. So let's see what they come up with. Stay in the same formation. Trips to the near side. Jones back deep. Stop, has plenty of time. Looks up over top. Get a man wide open. He has it at the 40, 30, down to the 20. Caught from behind finally and dropped, but he's down to the 15-yard line.
And Peyton Wilgar just got beat there. I don't know if he was supposed to roll high or if he was manned the whole way. We'll have to take a look at our CEC TV replay, but just a quick 3-step, and it's a straight fade route, and receiver just gets behind everybody. That ball thrown on the hands, and Brigham Trowbridge making a great catch.
Yeah, he's the guy's got great speed. He took the opening kick and a handoff right in the middle. Again, the defense was ready to go on that one as they just stepped right up there. Again, leading the way was Marshall Smith, and they only got a yard. Second down, 9 yards to go. The ball at the 14-yard line.
Smith only listed about 5'10", 160, but that's a big hit.
It was indeed. Handoff to the right side. Looked like for a moment he was going to get by, but hanging on was Stevenson. And the senior linebacker bumped up and then grabbed the legs. Still gained it 2. That's 3rd down and 7 for Lone Peak. And they are at the Dixie, in the red zone, at the Dixie 12-yard line.
Yeah, and a nice opening drive. If you can get down in that Red Rock Real Estate red zone, you got a chance to take an early lead on the road. That's exactly what Lone Peak's trying to do.
Jones looks, trips to the left, back, has time, and throws over top everybody. They had 2 wide receivers out there. First of all, it was Cody Collins, and Cody that time was a decoy. He went out deep, then kind of cut back, and but then you look and there's a guy right behind him, but he too was overthrown. So it's 4th down and about 7 yards to go. And looks like Lone Peak says we're going to try for 3.
Yeah, going to bring on the kicker here and try to take that early lead. Nate Ritchie, I think, is the kicker. Holder is Braden Seary. Hey, Seary's in the building. Seary, is he going to make this kick?
And it's a high snap, but he gets it down, boots it up, and got it just inside that left upright. So we checked the scoreboard up there, one lost scoreboard. 9:26 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Lone Peak. We're back in 1 minute.
Hawaiian chicken bowls on sale, $5 a bowl. On sale over there, $5 a bowl.
All right, welcome back. Glad to have you along with us. 3-0. Lone Peak takes the early lead on a field goal. Now the Dixie Flyers have it inside their own red zone as they were stopped short of the 20 on the kick. They have it first down and 10 yards to go. The ball's at about the 17-yard line. Barman, now he backs up and switches Kobe Freeman back there with a movement. Barman keeps it himself, drives up the middle, gets it up to the 20 for a couple of yards. They're going to sneak him across that 20. We'll give him a gain of 3 yards, second down and 7.
Yeah, it's so dangerous. You put that fly sweep man in motion. That's Nyberg and Amanoff Quinn. You got the option pitch, but that time Barban had the read to keep it and got a couple yards out of the play.
I think there was one defender that stayed home, and that's why that did not work. He was right where Barban wanted to go. And there is a penalty against the Flyers. So they'll mark it back. Ball goes back to the 15-yard line. It was post play, so it's now second down and about 12 yards to go. Out of the gun, Barban has some room up the middle this time. Bowls his way ahead out to the 25-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Devin, that was the same play that time. They cleared out the middle for him.
Yeah, obviously something in the scouting department that they felt like they could exploit, and Barban making a decision, and now you got third and manageable, third and about 3.
Barban again out of the gun. Option, fakes, keeps it himself. Bowls ahead, has the first down. Needed about 2 and got about 5. He's out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. First and 10 Flyers.
Well, we expected Barban to throw it a lot, but he's running a lot early on. A nice Fabulous Freddy's first down, and he called his own number 3 times in a row, and it worked perfectly.
They're moving the ball out of their own deep end zone. And now this time, nothing doing. Lone Peak had that one sniffed out from the very beginning. And for Barban that time, there was nowhere to go. So it'll be a loss of 3. Second down, about 13 yards to go. The ball right back at the 30-yard line. Barban in the backfield along with Quinn. Quinn to his side. Got trips to the right side. Single wide out to the left. Barban looks. Now pulls it back in. He wants to throw. Nobody's there. He's got to run. And he cannot get around the near corner as making sure he didn't turn that too far upfield was Carson Stosic, the DB.
Yeah, now you got to try to probably put something out there, throw something downfield. Lose a couple yards there, back to about the 30, just inside your own 30, and you got to get it out across the 43-yard line. So I expect Coach Nyberg, Coach Stokes, who kind of dictate the play calling on the offensive side of the ball, to probably let Barban try to find Nate Mahi or Hobbs Nyberg or Peyton Hare down the field.
Yeah, he had time that last one, but nobody was open. He had to pull it back and run. Let's see what happens here. They have the fly by Mahi. Over the top, too tall, and nearly picked off. The only guy close to it was Eric Pedroza, the defensive back, And boy, that was good coverage, Devin. They had just about double coverage everywhere.
Well, they bring the song safety up out of the slot side, and nobody accounted for him. Just too many rush in there, and you still had double coverage on Hobbs Nyberg. You can't draw it up any better than that.
Yep.
And really, Jacob Barbin knew he had to try to give his receiver a chance, and not a bad decision to throw it out in front. If you're going to do anything, just incomplete pass is pretty good right there. You don't want to turn the football over, and at least you maybe flip the field position a little bit here with a good kick.
Yeah, Flyers ready to go. A low driving kick, bounces, goes straight up in the air, picked up at the 35, hit immediately, and down he goes. Again, good job by the special teams as they got down there in a hurry. I think first man there was Matt Kitchen, the senior special teams player. And he got there in a hurry, and they're going to mark him down at the 36.
Yeah, you're going to see it. Takes that one bounce, a pretty good bounce, so turnable. And there's Segmiller there that got to him first.
That's
Stewart
right.
Segmiller. And then Kitchen, once he was stood up, came in and delivered that punch. But, hey, not bad position here for Lone Peak, already leading 3-0.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Lone Peak. Out of the gun, they fake the handoff, go up top. And the ball is incomplete down around the 30-yard line. Pretty good job of defense out there by Frank. Is it Brenz? B-R-E-N-E-S?
The right side corner, I think, is Falmanui. Yeah, Falmanui, number 20. You could try to pronounce that better than I can, Mike. Sota Falmanui.
Sounds good.
That's a tough one. A lot of vowels.
Falmui, yeah.
I didn't get the pronunciation on that one. I apologize.
Pass got a man wide open at the 40, complete to the 35, backtracks to the 30, hit and down he goes. Defensively, Tyson Miller on the stop, and I don't know what happened there, but the wide receiver found a wide open flat, Devin. He went past the up back, and the deep back never got there.
Yeah, it looked like two high safeties, and the corner was hanging the flats, and they ran that perfectly in between it all.
So it was 1st and 10 once again. The Dixie defense rising to the occasion as big number 90, and they're Connor Walden.
Well, Lone Peak goes fast, don't they, Mike?
Yeah, they do.
Their Oregon Ducks speed on offense, the tempo is quick.
So it's a loss of a yard. 2nd down, 11 yards to go. Again, the handoff straight ahead, good for just a couple of yards. And it looks, you get the feeling that's worked fairly good for them over the years, as that was, let's see, Mason Wake, the big running back. He is listed at 6'2", 228.
Yeah, and Marshall Smith met him, but that's a big mismatch size-wise.
It is over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Tip up and pick off by the Flyers. A tip drill to perfection.
Oh, my. How did Matt Kitchen concentrate to grab that deflection? I mean, he's stride for stride with his guy, and it goes right to him, and he Superman lays out. We'll take a look at the replay because that was a special play by Kitchen. And I couldn't tell. Was it Miller that tipped it first? I'd have to take another shot at it. Here we go for our people watching online. Maybe we don't have that
time. We're right back to live action, but the pass might have been just a little behind him.
Huge. We talked about turnovers, one of our Camping World keys to games, and Flyers come up big inside their own red zone with a takeaway.
Yep, they fly, and then they hand off behind that, finding just a couple of yards. By the way, the line of scrimmage was the 10-yard line. Handoff good for about 3.5 yards up the middle, so call it 2nd down. We'll give them 4. 2nd down, 6 yards to go for the Flyers. We have a 3-0 score with just under 5 minutes to go on the Air Care Professionals clock. They got you covered with heating and cooling. You're probably looking more for the cooling this time of the year. Out of the gun, Barbin back to lefty. Goes up top, and ball is caught out at the 40-yard line. Oh, somehow holding on, Peyton Hara.
That was a perfect throw by Jacob Barbin. Man, he looked like Steve Young, floating it high, feathering it in softly. Hara in stride. It dropped right in the bread basket, and he just squoze it home. Big play out to the 45-yard line.
So it is 1st and 10 for the Flyers. Handoff up the middle. Good for a couple of yards. Amina Quinn picks up, in fact, well, they're only going to give him about 3, so we'll call it 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Another handoff. And getting hit right in the back, Quinn turns around to the official and says, hey, that guy, is that not a penalty? Of course, Thomas Bateman looked at the official and kind of like, no, don't worry about it. He just came in, hit him maybe a little bit late, but official saw it all and said, nope, it's all right. By the way, the gain was up to midfield +1.
And now Coach Stokes kind of slowing it down. It's a big third down out at midfield. Got to get about 4 yards to move the chains.
Yep, 3-0. Lone Peak with an early lead in this one. That's all we've seen so far. Again, back over the middle, incomplete. Ball bounces in the turf. Defense provided again by Carson Stosic. He gets around 6'1", 185. Pretty good size there. He is looks like the defensive end on the near side. So that'll bring up 4th and 4.5, almost 5. Looks like the Flyers not willing to give a short porch to Lone Peak. They already trailed. The Flyers 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, you got the takeaway. You move the ball. Now you got a chance to pin them deep. Tyson Fisher, punter. Try to angle this one somewhere down inside the 20 and make it a long way to go for Lone Peak. But they've got up to a nice start, and the Flyers have shown signs of moving the football. But, again, another drive kind of slows down and stalls out.
Snap. It's a low bouncing kick. That's kind of what he wanted. Mishandled. It's open on the field, and the Flyers say they got it. The official says you do.
Sagmiller got it. You know what? Tyson Fisher acted like he was going to throw a fake. Then he rugby-style kicks it low, and it hits him in the helmet. And then the Flyers in pursuit. Sagmiller jumps right on it and secures it. And now they're in the Red Rock Real Estate red zone, and the Flyers got a chance to tie it up or take the lead.
Boy, great job that time by the special teams play. A great kick, and they were there ready for it. So it is 1st and 10 for the Flyers.
Barbin lost his mouthpiece, had to go get it off the turf.
Hold up, guys, just a second here. Here comes the pressure. He looks over the top, got a man, touchdown.
Perfect time to go one-on-one. They came with the blitz up the middle. Barbin, his offensive line gave him time. It looked like he was going to have to hurry and throw it. He saw his offensive line had got the protection he needed. One-on-one, and he floats it over the top, and Mahi secures it. Beautiful pitch and catch. Flyers on the board.
Mahi was excited about that one. A lot of jumping. There's a replay on that one for our TV viewing audience. And just a great job. Good throw, good catch, great concentration. And the Flyers take their first lead of the game. A high snap, and it's blocked. So it is no good. It'll stay 6-3 in favor of the Flyers. We'll take a break on the one-loss scoreboard. 6-3, back in a minute.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And the Flyers kick it off. Ball taken at the 5, up to the 10, looking for the 15. Outside, gets it. Out across the 20. There the Flyers catch up with them. And are going to give it a mark, just shy, actually, at about the 18-19 yard line. So Lone Peak has it, 1st and 10, and now for the first time they trail in this football game.
Boy, one of the Flyers special team guys, number 25, I think it was, got there quick but didn't break down, and that gave him the edge to get a little running room, but still really good coverage to keep him shy of the 20-yard line. And Dixie's got a little momentum after, 2 turnovers here in the first quarter.
Yep. So it is 1st and 10. Lone Peak. Jones out of the gun, drops back, has a lot of time. Got a speedster, and he lays out and catches it. into Flyer territory.
Cody Collins, are you
Wow.
kidding me? That was another beautiful throw, but Collins on the catch made the special into that one. He lays out, catches it on his fingertips, and then absorbs it to the body as he's hitting the turf and just catches it securely. That's a heck of a big-time catch and throw right there for Lone Peak.
Boy, absolutely. And they're ready to go again, and they want to go to the air. They have a lot of time. Now a little flip catch to the 40, 35, 30, down the far sideline to about the 25-yard line. And once I like what Jones is doing. And, of course, he's got the deep ball. You know that, and you have to respect it. That time the defense dropped off, and he just went underneath with a little flip catch.
Yeah, Brock Jones, 6'1", 190. He's a senior. He's a veteran. He's experienced and dictating the pace right now and putting the ball on the money and then getting it out in space where his guys can make plays.
Yeah, Mason Wake with the catch on that last one. Once again, trips to the near side, but they're looking left over top again. Again, got a man he lays out, can't get there. And there was a little bit of bumping going on, but two officials right there, and they just wave it off. No harm, no foul. Although Cody Collins was complaining a little bit.
I want to thank Intermountain Sports Medicine. They provide all the trainers and support of Region 9 athletics, keeping everybody safe. Today, Dixie's Mike Tolman taking care of the fellas down there on the field. Thank you, Intermountain Sports Medicine.
Second down, 10 yards to go for Lone Peak at the 25-yard line. Jones back, fires it out complete, and he has the 10 yards plus. Into the red zone they go, down to the 17-yard line. Well, I tell you, Lone Peak with Jones in there, they've got a very potent attack, Devin.
And into the red zone. And if you're in the red zone looking to score a beautiful home in Southern Utah, call your hometown realtors with Red Rock Real Estate. They'll never fumble the ball.
Third down, actually just shy of a first down. So third and maybe a yard. They go with a handoff straight ahead, and there's the yard plus a little bit down to the 15-yard line. The big fullback there just kind of leaning his way forward. That is Mason Wake, again, 6'2", 228, gets the needed yardage.
Run stop has been there for the Flyers. Been the past. It's hurt them so far.
And Jones back, goes to the pass again, trying to look it over the middle that time. I tell you what, Dixie guessed right because the pass went inside. Two defenders went there. Had the pass gone outside, it was 6 points.
Yep, but you'll take that now.
Yep.
You know, stop the clock. Plenty of time to go here early on. Still first quarter. This quarter is flying by despite a lot of passing attempts. And now maybe the coach is sensing that, saying, we're going to take a Hanks Riverwalk Grill timeout.
And let's do it. A 1 minute timeout coming up on the one-loss scoreboard. 2:13 to go. 6-3 Flyers. Back in a minute.
Por las cosas que nos pueden mantener seguros. Y ahora, las que llevamos con nosotros ofrecen alertas inalámbricas de emergencia. Por medio de un sonido y vibración particular, estarás al tanto donde quiera que estés.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
And we certainly appreciate all of our sponsors. I got you covered both on radio and TV here tonight. As Jones goes back, fake into the line, now goes up top, intercepted by the Flyers at the 5. Back to the 10, hit, knocked off his feet at about the 13-yard line. Thank you, Peyton Wilgar.
Yeah, there you go. That's the third turnover here. We still have 2:02 left on the Air Care Pros clock, and Dixie leading 6-3. I had a quick Region 9 update for you. This game on our sister station, 890 AM, 94.9 FM. Pineview trails Lehigh 7-0. But surveying the field, finding time, but just not thrown deep enough. And that distance underneath. He got good depth, and that was not his primary man. He sagged off, stepped in front of that pass, and the interception thrown by Brock Jones.
So it is 1st and 10 for the Flyers as Dixie back to work. Movement left to right, across the middle, complete, inside, and he's wide open. He may go all the way. That's Hobbs Nyberg, and he will down to the 10, 5, touchdown Flyers.
Oh, man, again, they're just spreading the field, and once Dixie's been able to get that quick burst, they've had some big opportunities. You're going to fake Mahi, and you're going to throw that screen coming out of the backfield in the middle of the field to Nyberg, and it is all day wide open, and Hobbs, nobody within 15, 20 yards of him as he scoots for the score.
Wow, great play inside and a really good job by the alignment as they really cleared out the middle, and the Flyers jump up. They'll try to tack on the extra point this time. Miles Keenan ready to do the job, gets a foot into it. It is up and through, and with 1:51 remaining, let's kind of hold it here and reset the stage once again. So Lone Peak again got the first score, drove it down into the red zone, and then had to settle for a three-pointer. And then there was some back and forth there, D, with some turnovers. And now, boom, boom, Flyers, 2 quick ones.
Yeah, looking good, man. Missed PAT is looming there large, but now you're up 13-3 on the one-loss scoreboard. Bad news for Pineview. Cameron Cooper just threw another one. This one went over 85 yards to Cade Moore, and the Pioneers, with 3:14 left in the first quarter, already out in front, 14-0 over Pineview. Our good friend Ed Larson is the head coach. He spent some time at Dixie State with Ron Hahn, and, man, he is having fun. He loves to throw the football. Cameron Cooper threw 74 attempts last week.
Yeah. Guys making national attention. Ball over top everybody, goes into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. And so, well, there is a flag on the play as well. And it looks like it's going to be an offsides on the kicking team. So they'll bring it back, and Dixie will have to kick it again. So they'll move back a couple of yards. But, yeah, with as many passes, I mean, there's a kid that's being looked at all across the nation, and he just says, hey, I'm going to go to work here from a high school, going to make the best out of my senior season. We'll see what happens. So with 1:51 to go, 13-3. And again, Keenan ready to kick off. This one a long boot, and it is right at the goal line, straight at the field to the 10, to the 15. Finds a crease across the 20, out across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. That's actually not a bad return by Brigham Trowbridge. Trowbridge, they list him at 5'9", 180, and I think that's very wet standing on a little stool because he's a little guy. But he's got some speed.
I like the little guys, Mike.
Amen. All right, 1st and 10 for Lone Peak. They trail 13-3 here with 1:44 to go, quarter one. Fake the handoff. Pass is out in the flats, a short pass. It's complete across the 30 to the 32-yard line. That'll be about 4.5 yards. Just a little jump pass. Receiver had to go to his knees to haul it in. But right back comes Lone Peak. Head coach Bart Brockbank. It's time to go with a straight handoff. Flyers ready. A yard, and that's it.
That defense up the middle been pretty stingy tonight. That make Coach Stokes happy, and you're breaking in a lot of guys that didn't have a ton of experience. Yeah, Wilgar's back, and yeah, Miller's back, and Staley saw some time, and Tyson Fisher. I'll tell you, I don't know if this Dixie defensive ends and Caden Williams and Fisher get enough credit in that three-man front. Yeah. They're dynamic.
They're doing a great job. 3rd and about 5. The pass is long. Incomplete, actually. Not long, it was short. He was looking for Collins out there, and that time, a little bit of pressure up the middle forced Jones to dump it off a little early. It drops incomplete. So it'll be 4th and long now for Lone Peak. And with 46 seconds to go, they'll have to get rid of the football. Flyers get it back and should be able to start the second quarter with the ball in fairly decent position. We'll see. Snap is back. The kick is away. Nice kick. They're just going to let it bounce, and it takes a Dixie bounce. Ends up at the 39-yard line. Pretty good job back there by Hobbs Nyberg. He could tell it wasn't going to make it very far, and he just backed up and says, nah, you guys go ahead and handle it. So, again, Flyers get it on their own 39-yard line. Pretty good position for Dixie with a 13-3 lead.
Yeah, real good start. Coach Stokes got to be pleased with the start, and this offense, now they can pick right back up where they left off. Watch out for number 9. He's got a touchdown. Mahi's got 1, 2 throwing touchdowns already for Jacob Barber. It looks in sync for the Flyboys.
Amen. Right now playing extremely well. Flyers come up with trips to the near side. And over the middle, it is complete out to the 45, leaning it ahead to about the 49-yard line.
Wyatt Forbes, I think, with the catch
80.
there. Yeah. Hey, that big game tonight, one of many, East and Bingham, 1 and 2 in state.
Oh, yeah.
7-7 tie early on.
Oh.
Nice catch there on the replay from our CEC TV crew.
Time winding down with second and about a yard to go for the Flyers. And they're going to milk this clock. This should be the final play. As back, well, he looks up top, got a man out there. He's open. Catch at the 25.
Wow. That was not thrown perfectly. He had to put a lot of air underneath that. But I'll tell you what, great adjustment by Hara. Peyton Hara, he knew where he was on the sideline, secured it, I think he got both feet in bounds, like a little corner route here. And a man in the face of Jacob Barbin, and he had a good couple steps on the defense. And the Flyers, they got it all moving right now on offense, Mike.
Looking good, looking good. Timeout on the field. We're going to take just a 30-second break here. 13-3 on the one-loss scoreboard, back in 30. Well, welcome back once again as we head to quarter number 2. Flyers on their home field leading it by 10, 13-3. I think you made the comment earlier. They being the coaches of Dixie, got to be really happy with quarter 1.
Yeah, and 13 points in the first quarter. That means we're just 12 points or more away from our Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert. And Region 9 fans, if you haven't heard, when your team scores over 25 after the game, you, your friends, your family, the student body section, Mike and I, we can all head to Yogurtland for 5-ounce free yogurt at Yogurtland, compliments of Holbrook Asphalt.
Yeah, thank you, Holbrook Asphalt. Gotta love it. All right, it is first down for the Dixie Flyers. Back standing in there over the top, and we do get the flag that time. Up and screaming for it was the Dixie Flyers, and it almost looked like, that's Hobbs Nyberg yelling for it, but it almost looked like the guy trailing him kind of tripped, but he did run in the back of him and push off.
Well, past 5 yards, it's contact, and there was, and he started stumbling and went down. If there's an uncatchable thing in the NFL, there's not in high school, so that doesn't matter. That's not relevant. You can see the shot. Barbin lays it out. He takes a shot at that end of that, and Hobbs is fighting through a double team, and he just gets all tangled up and goes down.
Yep. So it is first and 10. Once again, inside the red zone for the Dixie Flyers. Barbin looks right, comes back. Whoa, did he get rocked? There's a big hit for you. Let me tell you, that definitely was the Gallia, Welker, and Beckstrom big hit. If you've taken a big hit, like in a car accident, get a hold of the personal injury attorneys. That's Gallia, Welker, Beckstrom, 628-1682.
Well, and you got to remember, Barbin's coming off that season-ending surgery. He has worked so hard fighting his way back. You hate to see that. And you heard Coach Stokes talking about keeping him safe tonight was a big key.
And there's a nice timed option back. It's going to be, I think, another, well, close to a first down, couple of yards short. That, again, you talk about a game of inches or seconds. That was perfect on the option there by Barb.
But they were pretty sound as far as their
Yep.
assignments. Quinn just high-stepped out of the original guy, but Pedrosia tracked him down and didn't keep him from, like, ever getting that north-south cut that could take it into the end zone.
Third and about 5 and maybe 4.5, 5 yards to go for the Flyers. They spread it out, empty backfield. Barbin's alone. Pump fake, throws it incomplete.
And now do you take the 3 here? Probably, but your PAT had already been blocked in this game. So maybe Coach Stokes, non-region, want to working on something. Looks like he might bring the unit out to kick this.
Here he comes now, I think, with the kicking team. I think.
Miles, yeah.
Just a good time to do it. You do want some points on the board.
Well, especially with that missed one. So,
yeah.
We talked about that as another key. When you get in the Red Rock Real Estate red zone, you got to take points, even if it means settling for 3. I know you'd love to non-region, go ahead, but you need to give your kicker some confidence too.
That's right. He needs the PT just like everyone else. Snap is back, kick is up.
Snuck it through.
And, boy, just on the inside of that left upright. But it counts the same as one right down the middle, doesn't it?
Yeah, only about a 23-yarder, but you'll take it. And now the Flyers push up that lead, Mike. Nice start for Dixie High.
All right, we'll take a 1-minute break. 11:09, 16-3. Dixie back in 1.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
All right, we welcome you back once again to Walt Brooks Field, Walt Brooks Stadium. Kind of a short time out there. After the three-point field goal, a kick by Dixie, kind of a low flat kick, but boy, it sailed deep into the end zone, so touchback Lone Peak.
Yep, and really you feel like here, 11:09 left, second quarter. Time for a scoring drive. Flyers have pushed this up to 16-3. They've got 3 turnovers already. I mean, this has been a really good start for the Flyers, and yet Lone Peak's nowhere near out of this game.
Amen on that one. As they bring it up, trips to the near side for Jones. Jones does go with the handoff, and again, Flyers right there. There was absolutely nowhere to go. I think that looked to me like that was Jake Staley, the linebacker, first man there, and he got a hold of him, held on. Yeah, there's Staley again.
Yeah, Segmiller was the other guy on the other side, and Buddy Stevenson was right there. They were really swarming to the football.
Absolutely. There's a step up, and once again, Staley was one of them in on that one. Well, I'll tell you what, there is just nowhere to run right now against that front of the Dixie defense.
Quick Hearst Ace Hardware Region 9 update as you see the replay. Salem Hills and Desert Hills tied 7-7. Lehigh leads Pineview 14-0, and Christian out of California in Hurricane leading the Tigers already 20-0.
Ooh, don't know much about Christian, do we? Out of California.
They're good. They started the season, I think, 12-0 last year.
Yeah. Look back, go up top, and too far away, out of bounds across the way. Hustling over there was Caden Clemens, but the ball was way over top of him and out of play.
Well, I think that's good by Brock Jones. He knew 3rd down and 10. You had to take a shot, but he saw a great coverage. So he's like, I'm only going to put it out in front, and I'm going to throw an incompletion or only throw it where my guy can go get it and live to fight another day. Really good defensive stand for the Flyers. When you felt like Lone Peak needed to put the drive together, Flyers defense says 3 and out right back at you.
Absolutely. So standing on about his own 5-yard line, here comes the kick. High snap, he gets it away, and now we're going to have a penalty on the Dixie Flyers. And this, I believe, is going to be a major one because the kicker was absolutely upended.
Well, remember they had a block kick, went for a touchdown last year, but they get caught. It's 15-yard variety, so it's an automatic first down. So Lone Peak's going to get possession back. That's costly, Mike.
Yeah, if you look at what happened, and they went for the block, and they did miss the ball, but they absolutely took the legs out from underneath the kicker. So, and the official was right behind. Intentional? No, doesn't matter. So that'll bring the ball all the way out to the 35-yard line. And you're right, we'll see. Kind of put a little mental note by this one. Is this one that's going to maybe, liven up?
Well, you would have had possession at midfield. Instead, they've got fresh set of downs at their own 35. That's a huge, huge swing.
All right, Jones back, flings a pass out to the near side, and flags go down again.
I'll tell you, Sam Westfall did a heck of a job darting in front of that would-be block, and I think he was held. He blows it up, and his teammates make the tackle, and I think they're going to get the penalty on an offensive block in the back or a hold. But I'm just guessing here. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Yeah. I never worry about saying I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again because I know it's going to happen. So the officials are discussing it right now, and both teams just kind of hanging around, seeing what's going to happen. Now it looks like, and it's going to be, do they call pass interference on the offense? That's what they did call, I believe. Or holding. Nonetheless, it still ends up costing Lone Peak, and they move the ball backwards. Still waiting to see. They haven't put the ball down yet. Everybody's kind of waiting, keeping us in suspense here. Now the coach across the way says, what? What was the call?
Well, whatever it is, Dixie's accepting it, right?
Yep.
And now they want an explanation. And I don't blame Lone Peak. He's entitled to an explanation on what happened.
Checking the clock, 9:44 to go in the first half. It's 16-3.
Now they're going to wave it off and say the pass was caught behind the line of scrimmage. Is that what's going on, Mike?
That's what they're saying.
Okay, well, Lone Peak coaching staff doing their job there, fighting for their guys. You got to give Bart Brockbank a little bit of credit. I think he was out there, and he said, hey, where was that caught at? They got an explanation, and the officials, in their mind, got together, conferred, and made what they thought was the correct call.
So the ball ends up a 2-yard gain. That'll bring up second down and 8 yards to go for Lone Peak. So Lone Peak right now, a couple of gifts here on this drive. See if they can make something of it. Jones back, stops, looks upfield. Nowhere to go except him, and he goes down.
Jake Staley got there first, and then Fisher converged, and as Fisher hit him, his helmet pops off. So Tyson Fisher is going to have to leave the game for a mandatory one play.
Right.
Great shot on our live stream and television broadcast, but this pocket just collapses. He steps up in it, and Jake Staley and Tyson Fisher said, you ain't going anywhere up the middle. They converged on that quickly.
Yeah, it became a Jones sandwich in a hurry. 3rd and 10 yards to go. Jones back under pressure, flips it out, and nearly picked off. The ball was dying. Kitchen had a bead, but couldn't get the paws underneath it, so that'll bring up 4th and 10, and barring anything else now, Flyers will still get the ball in fair field position.
Yep. This Dixie defense really bringing the pressure and forcing quarterback Brock Jones into some quick decisions, and that time just nobody had broke open, so he overthrew it. If he throws that anymore, that's picked by Kitchen. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, he was right there with a chance but couldn't quite get to it. Time remaining in the first half, 9:09. Little high snap, they get it. The ball is straight up and then comes down and gets a big bounce, but Dixie says by now we got to get away from it. Lone Peak had no less than 6 players right around the football. Pretty good job by Hobbs Nyberg. So the Flyers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line, and they're ready to go the other way.
Yeah, pretty good job, though. You get that running into the kicker personal foul, and you think, oh, here's Lone Peak's chance, and then Dixie's defense does what they're supposed to, and they hold yet again.
All right. The handoff, looking for room up the middle. There was a couple of yards, and good for about, 3 yards, I think. on the carry. Amanoff Quinn had to work a little tough to get that. Second down, 7 yards to go for the Flyers.
Yeah, a little hesitation, and that allowed from the backside Kevin West to come around and tackle Aquin rather quickly and keep that to just a 3-yard gain.
So the Flyers with a second down, 7-yard situation. Jacob Barban out of the gun, has trips to the left side. Back, looks that way, goes up top, and diving, got hands on it, but unable to come up with it was Peyton Hara. He's already got a pretty nifty catch in this one, but he couldn't quite haul that one in. That'll bring her back for 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to miss it, that's where you miss it.
Yeah.
Barban really led him perfectly, and Hara was tracking it down over the shoulder and gets the separation late, and you got to love the effort right off the tips of his fingers. But, you know, if that's just 3 inches less, I think he can probably secure that catch. We saw a catch like that earlier for, I think it was Cody Collins that laid out and did that.
Right.
Hara was trying to answer that bell. Looks like we've got a Hanks Riverwalk Grill timeout over there at Sun River. Great place to take a timeout for lunch, dinner, maybe before or after your round of golf. And how about Hobbs Nyberg, already an 85-yard touchdown. Barban already thrown 2 to Nate Mahi. And, hey, Nolan Perry's power guide had Lone Peak 29-point differential in the power ratings, which is kind of the equivalent to a Vegas spread. And, you know, Dixie kind of playing that underdog role and playing it well right now.
It very well. I was going to say, where's my phone? How do I call Nolan Perry? And
well,
say,
he's really
huh?
I love his stuff. And it's got to be so difficult to put a power rating on every school because he can't see every team every week, year by year. So I appreciate the work he does. There's Hobbs Nyberg's uncle looking good with his Raiders shirt on, watching Hobby. Hi, Micah.
There you go.
A good crowd tonight here at Flyer Field to see this one.
All right, we expected a good game, and by golly, we got it right now. The Flyers up 16-3 with just a little over 8 minutes remaining. First half of action. Flyers with the lead and the football as they go right from left. Now they go back, a little swing pass over the top, but they were looking for a, looks like a screen by Nyberg. He caught it, tried to turn it back in, but when he tried to set the foot to move forward, it slipped and down he went, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Little slippage.
Looks like he had it pretty well set up, but unfortunately it doesn't work every time, so the Flyers will have to give the ball away. Back deep to receive is Kobe Freeman. Freeman, 6 foot, 195. And here comes the kick, and Freeman squares up, has it, goes down. They say he did touch down at the 36-yard line. And again, just great job, Devin, by that Dixie defense. Very impressed. And again, we get to call the name of Jake Staley.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. Him and Buddy Stevenson and Segmiller have been playing really well. And then you got, you know, picked by Matt Kitchen on a tip pass that was terrific. And, you know, all the guys you expect to be playmakers for Dixie have so far. And yet here's Lone Peak, chance to cut it back to a one-possession game. And Brock Jones, you know, he's going to continue to take shots. If that's one thing we've learned about Lone Peak so far in this game, they're going to try to continue to go down the field through the air.
Dangerous wideout Collins. He's on the near side. They go the far side. Pass is complete for an 11-yard gain. It'll be a 1st down for Lone Peak. And on the receiving end of that one was Brigham Trowbridge. That time, Trowbridge was the middle receiver out there. Come out of the slot, turned around. There was the ball, picked up an extra couple, 1st down. And they go with the handoff again. And this time, Dixie says, fool me once, maybe. Not going to let that happen again.
Yeah, I'm impressed with this 3-4 defense. You've got in the middle there Connor Walden, and then you got Caden Williams and Tyson Fisher. And they're getting a nice job. And then you got your backers really coming up and filling, and they're taking the fight to this big Lone Peak offensive line.
2nd down, about 10 yards to go. They went no gain on that last little play. And Jones rolling and gets hit. It's going to be, I believe, just enough for a 1st down. He was hit immediately, but I got to tell you, that was a heck of a job to hang on to that one. His feet went higher than his shoulders on that last one. There he goes, upside down, but Trowbridge able to hold on.
Quick
This
hitter.
time, yeah, the quick hitter, and he has a lot of room. All the way down inside the 25, down to around the 22-yard line on the carry, Kobe Freeman.
And I think it's the first time they really caught him off guard, and that's the longest run of this game, if I'm not mistaken, Mike.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Pickup of what, 17 or so?
And they go right back to Freeman again. He starts inside, curls out. He picks up not near as many yards, but a good run nonetheless with a gain of about 4. Second down and 6 yards to go. And it's just a straight here. You take it, now go find a hole to go through. Freeman found one to the outside.
Second down, here's where you think maybe Coach Brock Bank will take a shot.
Jones goes back, and he does drop the ball over the middle, and incomplete.
Yeah, they ran the wheel.
Wow.
The old wheel route where you sell it up the middle on a little post, and then you wheel the inside slot receiver on a little delayed fade to the far post to front pylon, and that is on his hands, and Caden Clemens is going to have nightmares with the fingers letting him down right there on the drop.
Yeah, he had that, and it would have been 6 on the board. Now it's third and about 6 yards to go. Jones, a beautiful pass over the middle. This time they hold on, and you can just see, Devin, don't you just kind of get the feeling? And that's Clemens again. These guys are saying, hey, we got a lot left in our tank.
Well, I like that. You go right back to the guy that just couldn't hang on, and he makes a tough catch and takes a big Galleon Welker hit right there, and then now you got fresh set of downs. You're deep in the Red Rock Real Estate red zone, a chance to cut into this Dixie Flyer lead.
All right, with 5:30 to go, let's take a timeout. 16-3 on the one-loss scoreboard, back in 1.
Music is a bridge between the material and the spiritual. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. My name is Harvey Lauer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Lining it up with a chance to score. It is 1st and goal just inside the 5 for Lone Peak. And their best shot at a touchdown. They didn't take long. They got it. Just a quick fake inside, and then a pass to Jackson Brinkerhoff. The big 6'7" wideout got it.
Yeah, and there you go. They just kind of got a little lull there, but putting a nice drive together and culminating in points, and right back in this game, cutting it to one possession. Looks like you're going to go ahead and just make it 16-10 and try the PAT.
So they will tack this, try to tack it on. And bring him back inside that 7-point margin. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it's a little wobbly, and it's off to the side. No good. I don't think it was blocked, D.
No, I think Nate Ritchie just kind of hesitated a little bit and just missed it.
So it's pushed off to the side. We're going to keep it here. We just come back off of a break, and we really do appreciate all of our great sponsors, including One Law, your dedicated personal injury attorney. If you're in an accident, and for all your legal needs, call 634-LAW or visit onelaw.com. Make sure to download, too, the new One Law app. They've got you covered, literally.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, that's the kind of things that sets One Law apart, is they always pride themselves on talking to an actual legal expert instead of getting on hold and having to wait online with their app, with text, with social media. They do a lot of consultations using the state-of-the-art equipment over there to really make it easy for their clients to get the legal help that they need.
Ready to kick off will be Nate Ritchie. These kids are big. I keep looking down here, And okay, there's once in a while a guy around 155, but most of them are 180, 195 and up. And the kick is over top everybody, in and out of the end zone. So Flyers will get the touchback, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line where they will start 1st and 10 as Lone Peak making it a game back to within 7, trailing 16-9.
Bingham cashes in on an East turnover. It's a 17-7 game. Bingham on top. Hurricane does get some points. They've cut that Christian lead to 20-6. Last report, Pineview had scored, and it was 14-7 against Lehigh. And Desert Hills and Salem Hills were tied 7-7. So some Hearst Ace Hardware updates for you.
Good games going on around here with the teams of Region 9. Quick pass to the outside. Nyberg has it, but immediately drew the attention of Trowbridge, and there was nothing. In fact, they're going to lose a couple. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 12 yards to go. And at the moment, Devin, it's almost like all that momentum has totally switched sides, which we would expect in games like this. Boy, a lot of shifting being done by the Flyers as they go empty backfield now. 5 wide receivers out in pattern. Here comes the pressure immediately. The pass is thrown but incomplete, and maybe the closest guy to it out there was Logan Greer, number 22 for the team from Lone Peak.
The Knights, yes indeed. My alma mater. We were the Knights when I was in high school. Love that nickname. And love Southwest Diesel bringing our second quarter play-by-play action. Doug and Darren, 40 years. They're there when you need something fixed. It's Southwest Diesel.
So it's now 3rd down and 12 yards to go, and you would think once again that Barbin and company would have to look downfield, looking for the 1st down to keep this drive alive. A lot of movement along the line, but nobody crossing the line. Long count. Barbin back, flings it out there, reaching up and hauling it in. Oh, what a catch by Hara.
Wow. Wow, he went up, timed it perfectly, turned and climbs the ladder. A little shaken up there, maybe as he comes down, maybe knock a little out of something. This kid's a playmaker. You know, he is an absolute playmaker. And look at the tight rotation on the hands. Beautiful pitch and catch there for the Flyboys.
Although it's not going to count, there is a hanky on the turf. And they're bringing that one back.
Look at Coach Stokes. He's out there with his arms crossed at the 30. He just knows that was a backbreaker there. Was it a hold on the big guys in the trenches? I didn't hear where we don't have our official mic'd up.
Yeah, and I didn't see the sign by the official either. We can't hear the PA announcer, but
that's going to be about a 43-yard penalty. They would have had a cross midfield. Instead, they're inside their 10. So that's a costly penalty right there as it ends up being.
Absolutely. Looks like it's 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. And once again, Barbin back, and down he goes, loses the football, picked up, and fumbled into the end zone. I believe the Flyers have it back.
And if it fumbled into the end zone, did he have possession? First, did he cross the plane? If he did, it'll be touchdown, because once it crosses the plane, it's dead. And then once it was fumbled, is it going to be a touchback or a touchdown? I think they're going to rule this a touchdown. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I'm not so sure on that one. The ball was loose, rolled into the end zone. They picked it up, but I didn't think he had possession.
Clearly a fumble.
There's the ball.
Across the plane.
Okay, there he did. He hit the ground with the ball, and then it came loose. So I take it all back. I give credit to the officials.
Yeah, now.
Good call.
You secure it to the ground, in theory, you're so used to seeing the NFL, but once it breaks that plane there, and he kind of landed on his back, and then the ground popped it out, that's a touchdown. Lone Peak, they got a chance here to tie this game up unless they want to go for 2 here, but it looks like they're going to bring out their kicker, Nate Ritchie, for the extra point try and try to tie it at 16.
Wow. A very, very quick turnaround here by Lone Peak as the Knights, they've owned this quarter like the Flyers owned the first one. Now jumping along the line of scrimmage, and they've got Dixie off sides. So it will be half the distance to the goal.
Just a reminder, we're closing in on that 25 points here. We still got 4:11 left first half, and Remember, if we score over 25 points, everybody can go get that Holbrook Asphalt Big Score dessert after the game at Yogurtland in the Red Rock Commons.
We just hope they keep that in mind. The back set kick is up. It is good. We've got a tie ball game at 16 each with 4:11 to go. Let's take a break on the one-loss scoreboard. Tied at 16. We're back in a minute.
Por las cosas que nos pueden mantener seguros. Y ahora, las que llevamos con nosotros ofrecen alertas inalámbricas de emergencia. Por medio de un sonido y vibración particular, estarás al tanto donde quiera que estés.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
Four minutes, 11 seconds to go in the first half, and back come the Knights. They tie the game. Now they kick it out of bounds. A penalty, so the ball comes out to the 35-yard line. Flyers have 65 yards and plenty of time to do it in with 4:11. Let's see if Barban and company can mount something once again after seeing their double-digit lead disappear here in this one. 1st and 10 at their own 35. He's back, fires, complete. First down, a little more, and getting caught and thrown out of bounds is Nate Mahi. And I mean literally thrown out of bounds, got him by the jersey.
Jacob Mumford did a little 360. Momentum kind of once you grab on, and Mahi trying to cut back, and then almost like a little WWE takedown.
But he got the first down. That's what they wanted. They mark it right at midfield and hold everything as the officials step in once again and blow that one dead. This time I believe it's going to be an offsides against the defense. They mark off the 5 yards, so it's going to be down to the 44-yard line. It is now 1st and 5 for the Flyers.
And Flyer football brought to you by Wilkinson's. We'll have some halftime stats inside our report. Brought to you by Wilkinson's House of Lighting.
Double each side. Hobbs Nyberg in motion. Now he goes back to the left. They go deep over the top. Ball is caught at the 20, and a flag goes down, and I think we may get defensive pass interference.
I'm impressed with both these quarterbacks. Now, this is fun football, Mike, because these quarterbacks are throwing up and letting the receivers in tight coverage have a chance to make play. That's good coverage in the secondary, and that is just a better throw and better catch, fighting through the contact. They're going to take that play because it was defensive pass interference. Man, Jacob Barban, the southpaw is just throwing it in there nicely tonight. It's pretty to watch.
Beautiful. And so quickly down to the 20-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Flyers. And now the officials, I think they said, we didn't get a chance to do much in the first quarter, so we're going to blow these things in the second quarter. That's a procedure call against the Flyers. So it'll be 1st and 15 now from the 25. Clock running with 3:45 to go here in the first half. Barban back, fakes the handoff, pass complete to the outside. Barban catch, looking for 6, got it!
Hobbs Nyberg, that little high step. Once he's in the open, he's got the jets. He does take a big hit at the goal line. No problem, though. Second touchdown of the night between those two as they hook up again. And that was a beautiful, 20-yard pitch and catch right there, Mike?
Yeah, beautifully done. And you're right. He knew right where the goal line was. And he actually kind of pulled it up and then high-stepped it into the end zone for the TD.
He was the preseason MVP, edging out Panay Sewell in the media and coaches polls. And Hobbs Nyberg having some fun tonight with his second touchdown grab.
Wow, here comes the point after the kick is up and right through the uprights. And so giving up a double-digit lead, but coming right back and putting it back up by 7 are the Flyers. They lead it on the one-loss scoreboard. Take a quick 30-second break. We'll be back. 23-16 Flyers back in 30.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me.
Walbrooks Field, welcome back. Got a good one brewing here. Ball bounces high, picked up at the 5-yard line. Inching his way through out to the 20, 25 to about the 27-yard line as the Knights got a good return on that one. So we could see maybe the bulk of the scoring in the first half in the last 5 minutes of the half.
Hey, good news, only 2 points away. Pretty safe assumption we're going to have our Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert here real quick. Could have it in the first half, Mike, with the Flyers already putting up 23. Nice touchdown. Really good answer after back-to-back scores from Lone Peak. They had some momentum, and then Barbin throwing laser beams, and now Flyers have stretched that lead back out by 7.
Let's see what Brock Jones is going to do as he tries to rally his troops. Well, they actually go with almost a little wildcat there as the running back on the near side stepped in front of the quarterback, took it and stepped forward, and got nothing. So it'll be second down, still 10 yards to go. And let's see, clock is running. We near the 3-minute mark to go here in half number 1. Handoff again, big hole up the middle, 40. Trying to high step over the middle, and leaping up in the air was 13 Wake. Hometown team saying, I don't think that's legal. You can't hurdle a guy. Official says play on. Out to the 47-yard line goes Wake and the Knights. 2:30 to go first half. And faking the handoff, then turning to throw was the quarterback, but Fisher from the backside says, I got your number, and down he goes. They'll lose back inside the 45 with a loss of about 5-6 yards.
Yeah, this defense continues to step up on occasion, make some big-time plays. You're going to see, going to run that fake read option, and Fisher from the backside, boom, never saw him coming, and that one hurt.
That's a big Gallion, Welker, and Beckstrom big hit. Second and about 15 yards to go. Jones back, lifts it high over everybody. And that one you knew that he says, if I'm going to throw this one, it's going to go high and deep. And it was too high and too deep. That brings up 3rd and 15 now for the Knights. And they might be leaving Dixie time if Dixie can hold the defense here enough to maybe run something themselves here in the first half. So the ball is at the 44-yard line. 3rd down, 15 yards to go. Jones back, stands in, pump fake, complete, and it'll be well shy of the first. Needed 14, got about 5 or 6 yards.
Caden Clemens making that catch, and Brock Jones continuing to just try to take what he can, take his shots when they're there. That time it wasn't there, dumped it underneath, and looks like they want to go for it here. 4th and about 7-8 yards from midfield.
Pamui with the tackle there, hung on to the jersey and pulled him back down. They go with a kick.
Quick kick.
Yeah, a quick one. Hits at the 20. They let it go. Down right on the 20-yard line.
I like that. I mean, that's really good coaching. They've done their scouting report there. Coach Bart Brockbank, he's saying, hey, we're going to keep it out of Hobbs Nyberg's hands. And we're not going to let you put a return man back there and try to just let your quarterback kick it in there. And they do. And it's, Flyers ball. But 21-yard line. And now the Flyers, how aggressive do they want to be? Well, knowing Coach Stokes, they're going to take this ball. They're going to try to march down and push this back up 2 possessions. They're not going to, maybe maybe mix in a run play, but they're going to try to move the ball downfield. I can assure you that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Here's what they do now.
Plenty of time.
Out of the gun. Yeah, over a minute to go. 1:07 to be exact. Trips to the left. They looked that way, but that didn't fool anybody.
Yep, sacked. Barber's rarity. He got hit on that fumble where that led to the fumble recovery in the end zone, and then that time I didn't see who got him, Mike, but it looked like
Carson
they came off that.
Smith, I think 65.
No,
it's 95. Okay.
Yeah, right up the middle there, Jonah Veneri.
And out to the left side, a bunch for Nyberg, but not quite enough for the first down. So they'll be short by about 45 yards. Clock's running, and Dixie's trying to hurry to get another couple of runs in.
Well, they're out of timeouts.
Yeah. Stepping up, still getting the ball away, and it's going to be tipped in the air, incomplete. That time, of course, we have good view here, but coming from behind, had he known, Wyatt Forbes could have let the guy bounce it and then taken it, but he didn't know that. He was just trying to get to the football right there.
Well, and Forbes, I think, cut his route off.
Yep.
And then once he realized it was coming to him, he tried to turn on his jets and still track it down. And how did Barban even know to go there with that ball? Because he was in traffic and he having a conversation right there, Jacob Barban, with Coach Andy Stokes.
Now it's 4th down and about 4 or 5 yards to go with 18 seconds left on the clock. So Dixie, of course, will try to make this as hard as possible. The kick and a fair catch is called for and taken. And so Lone Peak will have it at their own 39-yard line with 9 seconds to go. Almost wonder if they're going to come out and say, we'll be a little bit careful here. We're close. Maybe we'll go to the locker room with a 7-point deficit.
Well, that sack really took a lot of time there, yeah. Barban going down, but they responded, and that's a really good kick by Tyson Fisher.
He's doing a great job.
That rugby style to get it that high and that deep and force the fair catch, and now really you can probably take one deep out route, try to, they do have a timeout, so they can try to go over the middle if they want to and then get a quick timeout and then throw it into the end zone. But really at the 40-yard line, just shy of it, their own 39 we'll call it, I really think Brock Jones can put this darn near down inside the 10 and maybe get it near the end zone for the old Hail Mary. They did add a second back on the clock.
Well, let's see what they elect to do. Trips to the near side. They're going to go high or over the middle, across the way. The catch is complete, and they turn and call for a timeout with 4 seconds to go.
Perfect. They all sold fade and then just turned at about a 15-yard hitch. And he put it on the ground there, the quick timeout right at midfield. And now you can take that one shot and see if you can get that Hail Mary to maybe tie this game up, heading to the InfoWest halftime report. We'll have the lightning fast high-speed internet report brought to you by the internet people. And we'll get some Wilkinson stats to you. We'll get you some Hearst Ace Hardware Region 9 scores, plus some statewide scores, and give you all the recap in this one as Jacob Barban's had a nice first half. Hobbs Nyberg's caught a couple of touchdowns. Mahi caught the third. And they lead 23-16.
All right, all that's just seconds away. Actually, 5 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Of course, brought to you by Air Care Professionals Heating and Cooling. Certainly appreciate Jared, Sean, and the guys there at Air Care. Got to tell you, they saved my bacon here not too long ago. They always kid me about, Mike, yours is going to go down. And the temperature had been in the upper 90s for 4 days. On the 5th day, it went to 107. And guess which day my air conditioning went out?
That day.
That day, man. And by the time they got there, and they got there pretty quick, it was 91 inside.
Wow. They fixed you right up, though, right?
They got me taken care of. Thank you very much, Air Care Professionals. All right, here we go. What should be the final play of the half as Jones back. And he's going nowhere because Fisher got around the blocker He's just a little bit too fast for the big offensive lineman and laid out Jones.
Tyson Fisher off the edge, and he just chest bumped with the coach, and the coach took a spill. Tyson Fisher all jacked up. He's still chest bumping. That's the second sack of this first half, and the Flyers have the 7-point lead. A good half of football, no matter who you're cheering for. If you just like football and you're glad it's fall and it's Friday night under the lights, that was a fun one to be a part of.
There you go. We're going to take a 90-second break. Don't go away. We have a lot of good information coming away here at the half once again. And on that one loss scoreboard, Flyers 23, Knights 16, back in 90.
And wish the best of luck to the football team. The Jetettes are under the direction of Laurel Peterson, Heidi Taggart, and Haley Hammer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jetettes.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent? What? Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
For a while looked like a runaway the other side. What we ended up with was a very good back and forth football game and a 7-point differential here at the half with the Flyers leading at 23-16.
Yeah, let's get you caught up with a little bit of scores, and then we'll dive into some of our stats and recap everything here. Man, some dogfights. Let me just preface it by saying some dogfights. Here's 23-16 Dixie. Pineview has fought back from down 14-0. The defense has started to slow down Cameron Cooper, and it's 14-14 late second quarter. So that one is not quite the shootout yet that we saw both those teams do last week, where Pineview scored 69 and 72 points scored by the Lehigh Pioneers. Christian Patriots, a team from California, out in Hurricane, right now leading 33-14. Snow Canyon Warriors at the half leading Ridgeline, the team that knocked them out of the postseason, beat them in the first round of the playoffs 26-0 last year. And Snow Canyon leads by a touchdown 17-10. Desert Hills trailed 7-0. They've scored 21 unanswered points, and they have a 21-7 lead up at Salem Hills against the Skyhawks. So those are some of your Region 9 scores here at the break that we're tracking for you, presented by Hearst Ace Hardware, the helpful folks, corner Boulevard Bluff and Main Street in Cedar City. A variety of products at prices that please.
All right, so there you have a quick update on other scores around there. We have a lot of great football here. And I'll tell you what, just everyone I talk to, the feeling is all the same, and that is, wow, we're going to have some great games. We've already had some great games, but Region 9, once again, I think living up to the billing of having just a very, very tough conference this year.
I can tell you there's been a lot of unanswered points scored. We've seen it in this game. You know, Dixie went on that run after trailing 3-0 and 13-0 run, and then a quick 13-0 run back the other way before Dixie got that late touchdown to take the 7-point lead. Ridgeline actually led 10-0, but Snow Canyon rattled off 17 unanswered. Just mentioned Desert Hills 21-7. There's 11 seconds left in the first half, so that's about to go to the half with their 21 unanswered, and Pineview's got 14 unanswered. So, some Region 9 teams, you can never, ever count them out. It is unbelievable how much heart these kids in Southern Utah, and really the state of Utah as a whole, the football has risen. Everybody talks about Florida football or California football or Texas football, which is so notorious that they're making Friday Night Light films and documentaries. But football, since I got here in 1999, I just feel like it continues to get better and better. Mike, you've seen it grow over the years, and we had state champs back in the mid '90s, and we've had some great players through Southern Utah. But these kids are bigger, faster, stronger. There's more time spent in the weight room. The coaches have elevated their game. There's more prep than ever before. I mean, high school football has risen to a whole new level statewide, in my opinion.
I agree 100% with that one, D. I think it has really made some major
and take
advancements.
Nothing away from those old school coaches.
That's right.
That was just the game has just grown tremendously, and the coaches and players have adapted and grown with it. That's a positive in my eyes.
I agree. You got a great start. You had some super coaches. You had some very talented kids. I mean, you can look back and see a few guys that came out of the state of Utah that had great careers in the NFL. Now you're seeing a few more guys, but I think it's because of exactly what you just talked about. It really has taken the level of football and brought it up, and hey, that's just what makes our job so much better.
Hey, let's look at some of our Wilkinson's recaps from the first half, and as we do so, let's roll some of the highlights for our online audience and our television audience on sportsradio977.com as well as CEC TV. And early on, I'll tell you what, they came out slinging, and there's a nice little pitch and catch and a big gainer right there.
Yeah, Brobich was such a big part of that early part of the first quarter.
Yeah, first points there, but 33-yard field goal up and good. Lone Peak led 3-0. And then high pass, but it's tipped. And look at the concentration. Matt Kitchen, one of 3 first-quarter turnovers forced by the Flyer defense.
And you and I both mentioned the TOs has a big part of this game. I think we've seen that, absolutely.
Get used to seeing this. Barbin was feathering him in on the fade route right there to Peyton Hara. Him and Hobbs Nyberg both had a huge first half in the receiving department.
I just like the concentration of the wideouts.
Here's turnover number 2. It was a low kick. It goes bouncing off the Lone Peak helmet, recovered by Segmiller, and the Flyers would take advantage in the Red Rock Real Estate red zone.
Again, we keep talking about it, but TOs really cost the both teams.
And then one-on-one, the blitz comes, and Mahi gets behind his man, and Barbin throws it perfectly for the touchdown pass.
Isn't it great to see Barbin and coming? He just has such an ability to find that wide out.
Yep, there's another answer, though, going the other way with it. And you think they're going to drive and score it, but nope. Wilgar says, my turn. He sagged and got the pick. Probably one of the bad decisions, one of the few there from the quarterback Brock Jones, because he had nowhere to throw it. And then the middle screen, see you later, Hobbs Nyberg.
That was probably one of the most exciting plays, at least from a visual, because they were deep in their own end. It's just a little flip. He caught it. He had one guy to beat, and he was past him in 2 steps. It was over.
85 yards untouched, and Barbin wasn't done. And he's going to feather another little wheel fade route and, lob that one in kind of soft, and Hara, nice adjustment, making the play.
Absolutely. I just love the way these guys can find that ball and still get the feet in play.
11 minutes left in the second quarter, a field goal tacked on by the Flyers. But then there's the quarterback, Brock Jones, going back to work, finding Brigham Trowbridge.
Yeah, Trowbridge is doing a great job. There's a little quick pass over the top there to Jackson Brinkerhoff.
And there's the sack fumble. He crosses the plane. The ball pops out. Officials got together, and once it crossed the plane, they signaled touchdown, which was the correct call. But Barbin answered. It's 16-16, hits Hobbs Nyberg. Look at the speed, the high step, takes a hit at the end of this run. Hobbs Nyberg with the second touchdown catch of this game. He's well up over 100 yards.
Hey, man, what a job they have done. Here's a big run up the middle. That was a little controversial. You cannot hurdle a guy, but I don't know.
He did, and they didn't call it.
Yep, got away with it.
Well, it's a safety issue. It's a safety issue. You don't want it going up high, and there's so many great shots there from our CEC TV crew.
Job.
Marcus and Lauren and Dave and James. Appreciate their hard work and all the cameramen and women. But, you have so much emphasis on the head, and as a defensive back, you're so limited. You go high and you get helmet to helmet and you get penalized. You go low and you hurt somebody's ankle and you're in trouble. Well, you get a guy that hurdles you. What are you supposed to do? I mean, if you want to flip them up in the air, they can come down and land on their neck. Now, no harm, no foul on that one as far as injuries are concerned, but it is a safety a rule that I still believe is in effect, the best of my knowledge. And
I agree.
You heard a roar from the Flyer crowd wanting that hurdle hurdle. But regardless, Flyers have the 7-point lead at the half.
I guess it's always nice to look back and go, well, yeah, but at least we're still leading, and that certainly means a lot. So Dixie Flyers got it going on by 7 here at the half. They've had a good half, first half of football. And again, it's only the second week, and first week I got to watch the Snow Canyon Warriors, and I got to tell you, I was very impressed with Snow Canyon a week ago. I think obviously Uinta is a little bit of a weaker team, but you know what? The Warriors still went out and put up 49 points on them and had, I think, 28 or something in the first half. They really just got it done. So we're seeing it scored. You mentioned the Pineview attack last week with 69. Not going to get that tonight against a very talented team from Lehigh, but we're seeing quality football, quality teams, a lot of good stuff going on. All right, let's take a break here at the half once again, and on the one-loss scoreboard, Flyers lead at 23-16, back in 1.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Hi, welcome back once again. Walbrook Stadium, what a sight. Good crowd on tonight, and actually a pretty good look of followers from Lone Peak. The Knights made it down here, and of course on this side of things, Dixie with a big hometown crowd going on right now. So good crowd, good Friday night. Thanks for joining us. We got a little Friday night action going on.
Yeah, presented by Finley Volkswagen. Appreciate our friends at the Saving side of the freeway. Go see their all-star lineup. That Crosstrek is unbelievable. The CTI, oh my gosh, I was in the showroom the other day. I mean, they've got an unbelievable new 7-passenger Atlas. It's the Volkswagen Atlas, and plenty of leg room and plenty of storage room, and it's a great new SUV from Finley Volkswagen. Go see Curtis and the guys down there. They're unbelievable. They got a ton of different makes and models. And of course, the famous Jetta, and obviously the Passat, some of their more popular, but buys, lease on the Saving side of the freeway. Appreciate it. Our title sponsor all season long, Finley Volkswagen.
Well, obviously here in the start of the second half, there is a 7-point differential, but, you know, Dale was just sitting here thinking about maybe some of the keys to the game. I don't think they're any different now than they were at the first of the game. We've seen turnovers be an integral part of this game. We've seen a couple of mistakes that cost both teams, but we've seen both teams take advantage of the opposition's problems and, score a couple of points. So at this point, we're almost back to even. And I tell you, got to protect that football, especially early quarter 3.
Well, and if you're a defensive coach and you're looking at your defensive backs like Ryan Comer over there, he's saying, hey, you guys are in good position. Just keep doing what you're doing. Try to stay in the hip pocket. Turn your head when the receiver turns his head, because that ball was coming in on the hands from Jacob Barbin. Same thing can be said for the Dixie coaches. You got Coach Salafpo and that defensive line. That 3-4s worked really well, stopping the run tonight. I think 17-yard run was the longest of the first half, but there was a lot of sacks and a lot of stops. But again, they got kind of picked apart through the passing game. Both these teams rely on the pass. It's a beautiful thing, up and down. And 23-16, certainly Flyers with that 7-point lead can't feel too secure, but you love where you're at. You are coming in this game as a big underdog in your home opener, and you've proven that you can hang with the Knights from Lone Peak.
Absolutely. And I think we've seen that both teams have shown, Devin, that they do have explosiveness. They have the ability to score quickly. You pointed out count that both teams have a quick 13-0 run, and they both come out, scored points quickly, and then they settled down and played some good defense as well. So as we get set for the second half, once again, Flyers won the flip. They deferred, so they will get the football to start the second half, and I think obviously they're thinking it sure be nice to start something early right now.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And 21-10, Salem Hills did chip on an extra point. Pineview Lehigh tied 14. Still Hurricane trailing 33-14. Snow Canyon up 17-10. Some of the other scores we're tracking for you as we get ready for second half action. And we got some awards we're kind of watching for. Who will be the Dad's Trucking Player of the Game? We're going to give him a Sports Clips MVP haircut, whoever that is tonight.
That's right.
How about Barber and Nyberg hooking up for 2 touchdowns? Who do you go with? We'll see what happens in the second half. We're also going to look for our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. And right now that middle screen was executed so well, but there was a couple of turnovers that got to be in the mix with defensively Dixie holding Lone Peak to just 16 points.
Kitchen with a grab on the tip pass. I mean, that's huge in the game because that was deep in their end of the field. So that's a big part of what's going on. All right, the Lone Peak ready to go with 12 minutes on the clock. We get set 23-16. And Flyers are ready. 3 players back deep inside their own 10-yard line and ready to do the kicking chores. Ball is away, and it's going to be just short of the goal line. So it'll be straight up the middle of the field. And they come out, gets it through the 30, 35, out to about the 38-yard line. And down goes Nyberg. But I'll tell you what, he's the kind of guy, and you have to say this, anytime he can break it.
He barely kept it. You touch the goal line there, you're in trouble. But they run it to Mahi. They give it up to Reggie Graff, the backup quarterback, who gives it to Hobbs Nyberg. A little trickeration, and they got good field position at about the 37-yard line. But I think it's coming back. They're backtracking here.
I think there may be a forward handoff in there. That might be what I saw. The flag went down right when they went with that double handoff, and that may be what they're calling.
Wow, that was really close.
I thought that was great
Did Mahi lean out and let go of it? And was it a forward shuffle pass? That's what they're calling. I get that. You know, you got to go off to the side and leave it with him in his belly for it, I guess, to be a neutral handoff there. So I get that call.
But too bad they had something going. At least it looked like, looking for room up the middle and getting some out to about the 14-yard line.
And Amon Quinn runs hard. He hasn't had a lot of work tonight because they've been mixing it up and throwing the ball a lot. But nice little, he runs into contact, feels it, nice bounce, runs to daylight, which you love. And he kind of got shooken up last week. Good to see him out there healthy. They got him healthy quick because he took a big couple of hits last week in that win over Springville.
All right, so it's a third down now and about a yard and a half to go for the Dixie Flyers. We're just underway in the third quarter. 23-16, Flyers up a touchdown.
By the way, Amon Quinn is the nephew of Coach Andy Stokes, for those that didn't know that. A little family tie there.
There you go. Jumping around and may have made contact. Looks like the linebacker on the far side was trying to stunt, trying to draw some movement. Instead, he got a little over-aggressive, and so the Flyers get the the first down the easy way. So the ball comes out now to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Up the middle, couple of yards, that's about it. Not much there that time for Aquin.
Yeah, I think they're trying to run this out to about the 5-hole, and then the hole is plugged, so he sees that lane to cut back, but the outside backer there coming up and filling nicely. That's Jared Fotu, 6 foot 215, only a sophomore with a sure stop there around the legs of Aquin.
So he got a gain of a couple, and looking to the far side, incomplete, said the official. So they'll bring it back, set up third down and long for the Dixie Flyers. Got a long way to go, but we've had a good one. 7-point lead right now for the Flyers. There's that little swing pass. Trying to come back and get it. There's Nyberg in and out of his hands. And again, out of the gun, back, plenty of time, goes deep out there, complete, caught and out of bounds. Hobbs Nyberg somehow finds that extra little burst of speed for the first down.
Well, I know Weber State has officially offered Hobbs-Nyberg, and I know there's some schools that have laid off. I know SUU, Dixie State have a big-time interest. I don't know if they've officially offered, but some of the D1s, because of his size, haven't. But he makes up for it with speed and hands, Mike. What a grab.
Absolutely, I like that. Hitting the backfield, diving ahead, and may have turned a loss into a yard or two gain that time by the Flyers. I believe Quinn again. And quickly, Dixie right back into the play. And they go with a play action rolling to his left. And finally knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
Well, it's like Coach Stokes is saying, hey, guys, they were quicker off the ball on offense. Let's be quicker in the second half and try to catch their defense sleeping. And Barbin turned nothing into something. There was nobody in a route downfield. And nice blocking by Peyton Hara on the edge to spring him for positive yardage, and now you got third down and manageable.
Quinn in the backfield, lines up behind the quarterback Barbin, doubles either side for the Flyers. Out of the gun, plenty of time, fires it over the middle, complete.
That is a tight window to complete that pass. It's a quick out, and I'll tell you, that's good coverage right there, Mike. I mean, you got Thomas Bateman right there dropping. Look at him get wide on the set. Thinks he's got a beat on it. Nope. Hobbs-Nyberg makes the great sure-handed grab once again.
All right, so it's into the Lone Peak territory, and boy, just keeps the legs moving. Quinn looking like a big, strong back right there, as I think he turned a loss into a 4-yard gain.
You know, you got Jacob Mpungi at Pineview. You got Quinn here. You got Cordova out there. You got Jace Mendenhall at Snow Canyon.
Yep.
You got Brock Perry and Noah Sewell run the ball over Desert Hills. Trent Maurer and Cedars, a horse. There's some good backs in Region 9.
All right, 9:21 to go. Take a 30-second break on the one-loss scoreboard. 23-16 Flyers back in 30.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some.
Mike McGarry along with Devin Dixon tonight here at Walt Brooks Field. 9:21 to go in the third quarter. 23-16. That last time out was forced on Lone Peak by the fact that Dixie really picked up the pace on the option. Pick it back, Quinn finds room, turns the corner, but it's going to be short of the first down. Needed about 6, got half of that. Third down, 3 yards to go.
Well, D-end has quarterback, and he was there, so Barbin had to make the decision quickly to pitch. Look at the block there by Nyberg to give him a little bit of room. Mahi's blocking downfield. You got big number 77 for the Flyers out there trying to get a second-level block. That's Wyatt Hansen.
All right, doing their job. Big third down. Now about 3.5 yards to go for the Dixie Flyers. Taking a little bit extra time here. They hand it to Quinn, and Quinn's going to get nothing. That time it was like option, and it's almost like Barbin couldn't decide whether to let it go or not, and by the time Quinn got it, he also had the attention of the defense. Think we're going to go for it part of the field? Yep, we're there.
Yeah, I mean, you're not in the Red Rock Real Estate red zone, but you don't really want to punt this, so you put the offense out there and say, give me 3 yards, big boys.
Let's see what happens. Trips to the near side for Barbin. Quinn in the backfield. And one man in motion. Now they bring him back. And a quarterback look. Got a man wide open at the 20. Touchdown.
Wow. I thought they were going to run it maybe with Barbin, and he kind of ran like he was going to scatter and go. But Wyatt Forbes slips unguarded out into the flat on the right sideline. Caught about the 15 and sprints in for the score. Beautiful execution.
Yeah, that was a option run. But when he got up there, he looked up and he thought, whoa. That's my guy, and he's all alone down there. Give him the football.
Yeah, big time. 29-yard pitch and catch, I think it was. And right there, maybe it was 33 actually, Mike, or 34.
Yep.
And that's just a beautiful job. On 4th down, the Flyers have a 2-possession lead.
Here comes the point after. It's up and good. And with 7:57 now to go in the third quarter, we'll take a full break. On the one-loss scoreboard, 30-16, the Flyers back in one.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Hi, welcome back once again. Thanks so much for joining us. 7:50 time to go here in the third quarter. On the kick, it was a low driving kick. It hit at the 5-yard line, bounced straight in the air, and then picked up, returned out to the 20. 1st and 10, Lone Peak at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, and it's on. Holbrook Asphalt is going to buy everybody the big score dessert, over 25 points, and we still have 7:50 left on the Air Care Pros clock here, third quarter. Head to Yogurtland after the game and ask for your big score dessert.
Inside, trying to cut to the outside, actually getting some pretty good yardage that time. Jackson Taylor, I believe that was 14.
8 yards, 9 yards, 2nd down.
That 9-yard pickup there.
Yep.
You like that, chewing that up on 1st down, and now you got lots of options with the playbook for Coach Bart Brockbank.
All right, they will send double wide to the near side with a slot receiver. That's Tobridge, and he's in action. Boy, they hand off to him. That's their running back. I was looking at 24, that's Freeman. Freeman's got great speed. We've seen him a couple of times. He's got a pretty good explosive first step. Indeed, you see what Lone Peak has done. They've gone back to a little bit of a hurry-up offense. And it works for them. So it's 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Jones back, works left, has time, fires it on the run, complete to midfield, and out of bounds right there. But again, a great job. These two quarterbacks, I think, are equally as good. That time, Jones started to run, looked up, recognized his wide out, and got it to him, quickly.
Yeah, good patience there. You know, once you leave the pocket, you got to keep that head downfield. That ball did pop out, but can't fumble it out of bounds, and had it secure long enough, the officials say, that surely the completion was in fact good.
Yep. Ball to the Dixie, 48-yard line. Handoff left side. And up and over, and there should be a flag, but they're not going to get it. All the officials, frankly, had turned away. Big offensive lineman. Watch here at the end of this one for those. There's the ball. He is down. Oh, you can't see it. It's out of play. One of the big linemen. Oh, there it is right there.
There's this big turnover. Matt Kitchen for the Flyers. Another takeaway, Mike.
Wow. Okay, we don't need the penalties, they say. We'll just do it on our own here.
Tyson Fisher comes in so quickly, and the ball's on the ground, and he grabs it. That's not Kitchen. I said it wrong. I thought it was 10 at a first glance. That's Tyson Fisher off the edge with the fumble recovery.
Tyson, for a big guy, he's got such good speed, doesn't
Kitchen
he?
got a pick earlier. It's Fisher's turn to have his hands on a takeaway.
Great job, and it was just speed getting to the quarterback who mishandled the football. And you look over the middle, and just outside the outstretched arms of Hobbs Nyberg. He's a little upset. He thought, wait a minute, I had a chance to get that. It is incomplete, brings it back to the 45, where it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Flyers.
This is big right here. You get another takeaway. You're up 30-16. You're midway through the third quarter, and you take a shot right there, and that almost was complete to Nyberg. Just missed him.
So here we go again. This time the handoff is into the middle of the field, and that's Aquin. Aquin gets a yard. That's it. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9 yards to go. That time it was almost like Lone Peak was daring him. Not much up the middle. So a big 3rd down play here for the Flyers. They'd love to keep the ball and keep this drive alive. Flyers trailed 3-0, but got that back and have led since then. There was one tie at 16. Out of the gun, Jacob Barban back, pressure coming. He steps up in the pocket, has some room. Now he steps back, throws it deep, and looking for Mahi. Didn't get there.
Mahi had a good place to go. Hobbs Nyberg was wide open, but he was clear on the near sideline. There's just no way Barban has eyes in the back of his head to turn and plant and find Hobbs. So he throws it to the guy that he thought he could lead in stride.
Yeah.
But I like the mobility and the pocket presence right now from one Jacob Barban. And really, Mahi had a step on the defender. He just overthrew him just a little bit too far out in front, about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Barban was on the move that whole time. He would move out, and then he took a couple of step backs as he was throwing that one. High snap, you get it down. The kick is away. Low driving kick. Big bounce and a good one all the way down inside the red zone and out of bounds. And so Lone Peak will have it, but deep in their side of the field at their own 15-yard line.
Appreciate Intermountain Sports Medicine. They provide trainers for all of our Region 9 teams. And Dixie's Mike Tolman down there on the field, keeping everybody healthy. And Intermountain Sports Medicine has Dr. Christian Millward. If you ever need somebody to look at a sports injury, he's your guy in Southern Utah. A lot of fun with them, hooking up with Dixie State, taking care of the athletes, SUU, and as well as our Region 9 schools. Pretty cool to see the partnership there with Intermountain Sports Medicine.
All right, back to live action, 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Lone Peak with the football. They're down 30-16, down a couple of TDs. Jones rolls left on the run, fires it out there. It is complete to Clemens. Clemens turns the corner, gets shoved back out of bounds. But I believe he'll have the 1st down out to the 26, 27-yard line.
Hearst State's Hardware update real quick. We got to do them quick because these two teams go fast. Pineview watches Lehigh come out and score first. Pioneers 21, Panthers 14, early 3rd quarter.
Good game. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. Pineview's giving them guys a run. They were picked to win it rather handily this week. And they go with a handoff right up the middle, bowling people over, out for another 1st down. He's not that big. Well, he's 5'9", they list him, about 190 pounds.
Tyson Miller got trucked. That's a Rocky Mountain collision the other way around. The offense had the advantage on that one.
So it's 1st and 10. And right now, Lone Peak on a roll. They're at their own 40-yard line. Dixie says, we're going to slow the roll down just a little bit.
I got to correct myself. That's a Galleon Welker big hit.
Yep. By the way, another big hit out there, too, by the Dixie defense. Absolutely no gain. 2nd down and 10 as Lone Peak comes out with trips to the near side. Fake and got a man wide open. Missed it. Oh, the ball went to the wrong shoulder. He was looking inside. The ball went to the outside by the time he had turned, and that looks like that's Stosich.
Yeah, Carson Stosich. Yep. You know, he's coming, it's wide, and it's just, you know, you're trying to lean back and find it and just mishandle it.
And a quick pass this time underneath. Pass is complete, good for 5 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5, or 4th down and 5. The ball at the 45. Will Lone Peak risk it here? Looks like no is the answer.
I like Famui fighting off a block, though, coming in and going low from the left cornerback position. Nice job by Famanui.
So 4th down and 5 at their own 45-yard line. Lone Peak will give it up. 3:41 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Flyers lead it 30-16.
Yep, still anybody's game. Flyers had a chance to take advantage of that. The turnover couldn't, but their defense getting the ball back, and this kick not very deep, Mike.
Yeah. Goes up and then actually takes a Dixie bounce. It's going to be grabbed, but it's going to be at the 44-yard line. So Flyers get excellent position.
From the line of scrimmage, which is the 45, that's an 11-yard punt.
You know, I was just thinking as we were watching that and you listen to the crowd, today's football fans were pretty savvy. They knew that. They were oohing and on, and you knew what they were thinking. Oh, baby, that's a short kick. We got that.
First home game of the season for the Flyers. Fans enjoying it so far.
Lovely. All right, out of the gun. Handoff. Quinn looking for room and didn't find any. He may have gotten a yard. That's it to the 45-yard line. So it'll be second down, 9 yards to go for the Dixie Flyers. You know, the one thing that's changed, I think, in this game, especially here in the second half, that's the defense up the middle for Lone Peak. They're playing it much better. Dixie was hitting some holes early. Not much there. Flyers are still getting yardage, but not up the middle. Nyberg in motion, left to right. And they go to him on the outside. Pass is complete. And they'll be a little bit shy, I think, of the first down marker. Yeah, they mark it at the 47. They needed the 46. So it's third and about a yard to go. 2:44 to go, third quarter. Flyers needing a yard right here to keep this drive alive. And offsides, I believe, on Lone Peak. Again, trying to anticipate the snap. I don't know if that's a good hard count by Barban or not, but that's twice they've jumped offsides.
Well, you know, you always want to change the cadence up. That's smart quarterbacking. And I'm sure he has a lot of freedom to go ahead and call it on what he wants. 1, 2, 3, silent count, whatever it might be.
Stepping up in the middle, the pass. Caught Nyberg, 5. Got a touchdown.
Hobbs Nyberg with the dive, fighting through the contact, and this connection between Jacob Barban and Hobbs Nyberg is one of the best we've seen in a long time.
Wow.
You know, one-on-one coverage, they bring the pressure again. He throws it up high into the inside. DB gets away from Hobbs. He adjusts. He just never turned his head, and Hobbs knows how to go get that football. The hat trick for Hobbs, his third score of the night.
He has a nose for football. I know that's a tried old phrase, but I tell you what, he seems to know where to be to get a hold of that, and he got a hold, and now the Flyers build a pretty substantial lead, and the point after is good. We'll take the break. 2:13 to go on the one-loss scoreboard. Flyers 37, Lone Peak 16.
Up to 40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
And we welcome you back, and you know, just like that, I tell you what, Lone Peak still has some great athletes back there with the catch on the kickoff is Kobe Freeman. This kid's got jets for wheels. He just turned it on, got around the far side, returns it out to the 40-yard line. So Lone Peak has it on their own 40 where it's first and 10. But Lone Peak also now trails by 21 points, 37-16. They swing a pass. Freeman has it. Hit immediately. Good job on the near sideline and kind of hopping off a little bit is Famui.
Yeah,
Famui guessed perfectly on that.
Yeah, he made that stop. He's been active tonight.
Yep.
You know, I like this team defense. There's not one guy that continues to do all the lifting. Fisher and Williams and Wilgar and Hara, and the corners are playing well.
Kitchen's doing his job tonight. You name him.
Yeah, he's not in there right now, though.
And a handoff on the near side. And turns it up across the 45 to near the 46-yard line. Mason Wake on the carry. Big guy, 6'2", about 228 pounds. So that's a big, important third down right now with a minute remaining in the quarter. Third, and they're not quite to midfield. Third down, 4 yards to go. Jones out of the gun, handoff, hit, and not going to get the first down again is Wake. Defense, and more defense.
It's like just everybody swarming and wave after wave. A nice disciplined team effort right now. Everybody's playing sound assignment football for Coach Wayne Alafopo, and with thoughts and prayers with Maddox. And hey, next Monday they got a big bake sale fundraiser for him. He had to get sent up to Primary Children's for a bunch of things. Was up there about a week. It's been cool to see them rally.
They go with a fake pass out on the far side. Could be 6. It is.
Thomas Bateman takes it to the house. 53-yard touchdown from Brock Jones. And once he caught that ball, Bateman was gone down the sideline.
Had some good speed, nicely concealed on that play as well. And they got it out there in a hurry, and that time, one of the very few times tonight, the Dixie defense got caught napping. So it turns into 6, and that could be a huge part of this game. Just 20 seconds to go in the quarter, and brings it back now to within a couple of touchdowns. 37-22.
Yep, still fourth quarter coming up. Flyers haven't put them away. There's no question. A lot of fight left in this night team. Big score right there and a quick hitter score.
All right, we're going to keep it right here while we remind you again. After the game, you've got that big. What is it? 6 ounces, 5 ounces, 3 ounces.
Big score dessert, Holbrook Asphalt.
Dessert.
Yeah, up to 5 ounces is absolutely free. If you want to go bigger, you just pay the difference. But Holbrook has agreed to buy all Region 9 fans when your team scores over 25 points. So Flyer fans, if you're out there listening, if you're watching on CEC TV, you're going to go out with a little date night. Maybe you're listening in the stadium here at Dixie High, Waltbrook Stadium. Head over to Yogurtland for the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score Dessert. And hey, don't go away from our coverage on the radio side of things, because we've got lots of stuff coming up in the Region 9 wrap-up show when we're done here tonight. We'll have scores from around the region, interviews, highlights. We'll have the Les Olson Play of the Night region-wide. The guys will have a little Sports Clips MVP award to hand out. So a lot of fun things coming up. Our coverage is still just kind of middle of the night right now, Mike.
Amen. There's the kickoff, and it is deep, and it'll be a touchback. So the Flyers will bring the ball out to the 20-yard line where they'll have it 1st and 10. Still, clock didn't start. So 20 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of action. Yeah, we'll have complete details on all the scores involving Region 9 teams.
Yeah, appreciate Camping World St. George as well as our friends at Legend Solar. They're teaming up with us for our Region 9 live pregame coverage. We're staying out late with the wrap-up show, and Rust and Paul and Andy Thompson will be hosting.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Flyers on their own 20. Pass may have been tipped. And the officials say no harm, no foul. Looks like there was a collision, but officials say nope. No foul on that one. So with 14 seconds to go, they bring the ball back. Now 2nd down and 10 for the Flyers, again at their own 20-yard line. Hey, thanks again to Southwest Diesel as well for 40 years. Doug and Darren have been there when you need a fix. Southwest Diesel, the originators of high performance by diesel engines. Hobbs Nyberg in motion. They fake the handoff and trying to go up the middle. Not much there, a short gain. That'll be 3rd now and long for the Dixie Flyers. Didn't get much out of that one. And they're going to let the quarter run out, so that's it. End of the third quarter, good one for the Flyers, but Lone Peak gets a big one back late. 37-23 on the one-loss scoreboard. Fourth quarter coming up in a minute. 12 minutes on the clock. Here we go with the fourth quarter, 37-23. Flyers up by 2 touchdowns, but they have a big third down play coming up right here. Barman steps back, fires, nearly picked off. Oh, and that would have been a pick 6 for sure. Getting hands on it out there, the defense, but they knock it down, and that'll be a punting situation for the Dixie Flyers. And so far that hasn't been too bad of a thing, because Flyers have a guy by the name of T. Fish back there, and he's doing an excellent job. For a big guy, he's got great speed, good agility. He can kick on the run. There he goes. Launches that one, and it'll hit at around the 40 and get a couple of bounces all the way down inside. Rolls out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, really good. How about 45, 46-yard kick, maybe closer to 48. And with the roll there, depending on where they mark it, it's going to be, and angled away to the near sideline. I've been impressed with his kicking. He did not punt last year, did he, Mike?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
You know what else is really good, though, is the coverage of special teams. I mean, he's getting great kicks, but those special teams players are right there. I mean, Lone Peak has to back away or risk losing the football.
Hey, real quickly, Hearst Ace Hardware update. Snow Canyon heading to the fourth quarter over at home, 24-10. So they're almost another point. They're going to get the Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert for all their fans, just like they did last week. They're looking to avenge that Ridgeline loss from the playoffs last year.
Handoff trying to go up the middle. Not much there. In fact, maybe a half yard. That's it. On the little quick opener over the middle. And so first play of the fourth quarter, not much for Lone Peak. It is second down. We'll still call it about 10 yards to go. It might be 9.5. As Jones out of the gun. Stops, looks, fires long, wide open across the way, catch, and down into Dixie territory. Tell you, that's been a great combination tonight, too, and that's Jones to Clemens. That is about the third time tonight. Clemens somehow has found a way to get wide open. He was open across that far sideline and opens things up. Now 1st and 10 for Lone Peak at the Dixie 49-yard line. And out of the gun, Jones gets a man in motion. They hand back the other way, finding a little bit of room there was Freeman. Freeman's got good speed. He can move laterally and then open it up downfield, but that time the defense strung him out pretty well, and he ended up with a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, tougher in the 3-4 for Caden Williams there to keep outside containment. He bounced it outside, got what he could.
So it's second down, 8 yards to go. We're into the fourth quarter with 11 minutes remaining in the game. And up the middle, goodbye, maybe. Can he be caught? The answer is no.
Bad angle by Matt Kitchen there. The free safety, the only guy that could stop him, and he flattened, and then boom, the speed of Freeman. Back-to-back runs. This one goes for the touchdown. What, about a 45-yarder, Mike? What a play there. And this Lone Peak team, they're not going to quit tonight. Flyers are going to have to continue to put up points. They're going to hang on for the victory.
That's about who's going to score last. One of those, and running cleats and a cloud of dust, and who ends up standing at the last. Great run there by that young man. Freeman hoofs it down for the 6. And he'll try to tack on another point and cut the deficit even further. They do. It's up and through. So back to a 7-point game. We'll take a 30-second break here on the one-loss scoreboard. Flyers 37, Lone Peak 30.
There is a place where rocks bleed and nature blushes on a battlefield green with envy, where dimples determine destiny and a tiny wooden T holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where friends are opponents and opponents are friends, where the prize is elusive, the conquest is captivating, and the score isn't settled till the drinks are down. There is a place.
Well, and the kickoff goes in and out of the end zone, so it's a touchback. Flyers will get the ball out of the 20-yard line. Now, right now they still lead, but that gap has gone from 3 touchdowns to 1. A 14-0 run by Lone Peak. 37-30, Flyers with the lead, but they're going to have to grind this one out here now. Back Barman, ball is knocked right back to him. He catches it and then picks up a yard. Boy, that's kind of strange. That'll go down in the books as a pass from Barban to Barban. Replay, you see it. The ball was hammered right back at him. He caught it, but then by that time there was really no room to run. He got a yard. Big number 95 hauling him down after that 1-yard gain. So second down, 9 yards to go. Clock running with 10:20 to go in the game.
Yeah, and only a 7-point lead all of a sudden. Flyers really need to put a drive together.
Long pass and looking for Hobbs. Let him a little bit too much. Incomplete. And that's the woulda couldas. It would have been enough for a first down.
That's a deep out route, and Barban timed it perfectly. Just let him a little bit too far as Hobbs made his cut. He can accelerate so fast, but just couldn't get to that one.
So it's third down and about 9 yards to go. And the Flyers really need to pick this up right now. I think a little momentum swing once again back over to Lone Peak. As Barban back, he has have some time, lifts it, and it's incomplete. And there's a flag, and I believe that's going to be a defensive pass interference. Now it's time for the coaches on the other side to be a little upset with the guy throwing the hanky. The call, I'm pretty sure, will be pass interference. And there was some bumping, but let's wait for the officials to make the call. We'll have to wait and see.
Pineview trails 21-14, I'm told, in the fourth quarter now. Pineview does have possession. That's a lot lower scoring than those teams had last week. Our updates all season long brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware. You see Barban right here take another shot down the field, and there's contact past 5 yards. Ball was outside. Lone Peak doesn't like it. The back judge said, hell, there was some contact. Yeah. Fresh set of downs for the Flyers. That's a big call, Mike.
That's a huge call as the Flyers maintain possession out across the 30 to the 31. 1st and 10 for Dixie. Barban in the backfield, trips to the near side, single wide out to the left. And now Ahi in motion. They fire again. The center screen gets nothing. Underneath, the ball was caught by Peyton Hare, but that time it's like Lone Peak goes, you know what? I think I've seen this one before. They were there for the quick stop after a 1-yard gain.
Well, that worked earlier. Hobbs took it 85 yards for a touchdown, untouched. That time wasn't happening. I'm sure they made some halftime adjustments about the keys to read on that one.
Yep, there you go. So it's second down and 9 yards to go. Flyers. Pass complete to the outside. And
drug him and dogpiled him about 5 yards out of bounds. So groan from the Flyer fans as Nyberg goes down.
But the ball was caught. They'll get the reception.
It was a continuation tackle. Was it excessive? Officials said no, but it was a tackle that started in the play and ended way out of the field of play.
But they say play on, boys. So it's third and about 2.5 yards to go.
And Coach Snokes sneaks over. He wants a Hanks Riverwalk Grill timeout. I don't know what he saw there, Mike, but he didn't like it, and he wants to talk it over.
So we'll take the timeout with 9:27 to go, a 30-second timeout, and we'll be right back. 37-30 Flyers.
There is a place where young and old make connections, where kids feel like grown-ups, and grown-ups feel like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast, where wonder is universal, and laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future, families find each other, and feelings find their home. There is a place.
Mike McGarry along with Devin Dixon here tonight, Walbrooks Field, and we have seen a whale of a ball game. I believe two very good teams, D, going at it head-to-head, and right now with about 9.5 to go, it's a one-touchdown lead for the hometown Flyers.
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be Lone Peak by 3 or 4 touchdowns, but this Flyer team has kind of taken control and led most of the way, but Lone Peak has cut it back to 7, and Flyers trying to maybe push it back up to 2 possessions and run a little clock in the meantime.
All right, the Flyers tried something new, and that didn't work. Wow, defense got through in a hurry. Flyers lined up. They had a double wide out to the near side, and then they went into a stunt where they brought a player from the left side over. They went to a bubble right, but they left the middle wide open, and the defense came through, and there is a loss of yardage, and now it's a 4th down, and the Flyers will have to punt the ball.
Yeah, I think that's the 4th sack of the night, if I'm not mistaken, and you know, that's 5 brand new starting offensive linemen. They lost everybody from last year.
And again, another flag as the ball is going to roll. Gets a beautiful kick, but again, let's see what the flag is about.
I don't know why Caden Clemens didn't go ahead and grab that and save 7 or 8 yards there.
Yeah.
It looked like he had room. Interception for Snow Canyon, Mike. Brock Nowatzki takes it for the pick 6. They're up 30-10 with 5 minutes left. Snow Canyon looking to go 2-0. And that means the big score dessert is on. Compliments of Holbrook Asphalt. Snow Canyon here at Dixie as well. So lots of chances to head on to Yogurtland after the game. They're open late, and you can get your free Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert. Just ask for it at Yogurtland.
Well, the officials, there was a flag thrown, and it's going to be a procedure call against the Flyers. Both teams, neither one of them saw the flag, and they were getting ready to just play it where it was. The Flyers would rather have done that because the kick was beautiful, rolled and rolled, but now they got to back up 5 and do it all again. Well, good job, by the way, by the Snow Canyon Warriors. Come up with a big win last week at home to start off the year.
Yeah, you know, UNA, they were supposed to beat UNA.
Right.
But Ridgeline's a team that, you know, beat them 26-0 to end last year. This is a much bigger win. And, you know, I was saying all along this year that I just wasn't sure exactly how much of, you know, Snow Canyon would factor in the playoff race, but they look like they could this year, man. They look good.
Yeah, fair catch called for and taken. Actually, falling down was Clemens when he caught it, but he's on the 40-yard line, so they picked up about 10 yards or more on that switch. So they get the ball back, they being Lone Peak, and they're only down a touchdown, 37-30 with 8:31 to go in the ball game.
By the way, Virgin Valley, Yori Ludvigsen coaching. Coach Crowshaw's been helping him down there, legendary Dixie State coach, and they made a run of the title in Mesquite last year in the state of Nevada. They lead 12-0 over Candyview. Candyview hasn't scored any points on the season yet, Mike, and that one's in the second half. Or about halftime, actually, an hour behind.
That's right. And a quick swing pass out, avoiding the first tackler and picking up about 7 yards. I believe that was Trowbridge on the catch. It was. They're going to give him 7. So 2nd down and 3 yards to go. We're not critical time yet. We're going to kind of keep an eye on that clock as well. And Trowbridge was definitely out of position. They give him enough time to get out to the left side. Going around, Clemens around the far side. He's got speed. He busts through down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Kobe Freeman just chewing up chunks. Had that last touchdown. 6 foot, 195, only a junior. He's running hard. He's running possessed right now, and that offensive line's starting to get some creases for him to knife through.
All right, and right now we're watching 7:40 to go in the football game. And like we've said all night long, this game has been a game of stringing together points, and right now it belongs to LP. In the backcourt. In the backfield. Grabbed. Slipping away, but still not getting back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Loss was 4.
Really good penetration. Somebody missed a block. Flyers, you know, using their quickness. Fisher was in there. I think Trey Miller might have been coming on, you know, some kind of a blitz, and they blew that play up.
Good time to do it. The pass incomplete. And that might have been probably the one bad pass of the night by Jones, Brock Jones. It's like it was a timing pass, and unfortunately he timed it right between his two wideouts on that far side. It went to the turf. Fans trying to get the teams going because it's 3rd and long for Lone Peak. Out of the gun, Jones. Back, here comes the pressure. He steps up, goes deep, and caught but out of bounds.
Oh, man, and that was a beautiful catch, but it just stepped maybe a fraction out. That's on the far sideline. Hard to say exactly where his foot was, but from our angle, Mike, that was another dime dropped on the hands by Brock Jones.
And Trowbridge was the guy on the other end of that. That kid's a player. But that brings up 4th and long. This could be play of the game right here. Either way. 6:52 to go in the game. Back goes Jones. Steps up. Got a man out there. Incomplete. Good defense.
4th down, such a key down. You know, the Flyers converted one earlier for a big score, and this time they get a defensive stop on 4th down to preserve a 7-point lead, and now they can continue to work on that clock. Now 6:45 left on the Air Care clock. And man, Mike, I'm impressed with Coach Stokes. I mean, you know, he's such a young coach, and people don't know he was Mr. Relevant not too long ago. He was playing in the league, and you know, when Coach Munker stepped away to go coach at Dixie State, it opened up the door for him and Coach Alafapo, and they're really players-type coaches. They get down on the kids' level, and they've really created a culture that's a winning culture here at Dixie High School.
Handoff IU right up the middle, good for 2, maybe 3 yards. I was going to mention just a moment ago on that last play, that was so excited, I think the whole Barbin crew stood up. It wasn't the offense, but they're boys out there, and they've had other Barbins play in the past. They were right behind that one. 6:20 to go in the game. Actually gave him about a 4-yard gain. Barbin handoff up the middle. It's going to be only a short gain of a yard or 2. But they are chewing that clock. IU with the carry. But you got to move the football too. It is 3rd and 5 for the Dixie Flyers. Big 3rd down right here for, again, both teams. Barbin back out of the gun. Double either side. Now he gets the man in motion. That's Mahi. The pass over the middle, tipped, but unable to come up with it. Second chance there, couldn't quite get there. And now it is 4th and about 5. And the Flyers will have to give it up with 5.5 minutes to go.
Want to run some clock, but you want to try to take a shot, keep the pressure going. You know, we saw Desert Hills in that overtime loss to Jordan last week. They had the ball in a similar position, and they ran for 5 yards on 1st down, and then they took shot and then took another shot and ended up losing that game in overtime. That time the Flyers had it off Hobbs' hands. Pretty good throw. They just couldn't hang on, and good coverage by the Knights.
Here comes the kick, and it's a beauty. It is down inside the 5-yard line. They let it roll to the 1.
That's a 61-yard kick, Mike.
Wow.
From scrimmage, 61 yards, no return. How about the secret weapon that is Tyson Fisher tonight? He's been flawless.
I tell you what, I'm packing that in the back of the mind for play of the game tonight. I mean, that's
2 sacks,
incredible.
Forced a fumble, recovered it. I mean,
wow.
He's been simply fantastic. And the kicking only adds to what he's done at the defensive line position.
Yep, absolutely. So now we check it out. 5:19 to go in the ball game. It is 37-30. The ball is on the 1-yard line. That opens up a lot of things. Any miscue by Lone Peak.
Yeah, you got to go to the quick passing game, or you got to go to just a power run or two. Give yourself a little room.
And they go with the run. The run gets 4 yards out to the 5-yard line. Once again, defense being led there by Jake Staley, the junior linebacker.
He's only 165 pounds.
I know.
5'10", you know, and he gets the momentum, gets him 4 yards, but he come up in that hole and plugged it and did a nice job for an undersized linebacker.
So gain of 4, second and about 6.
Uh-oh.
Big hole. And breaking it out across the 20 to the 21-yard line on the carry. You know what, I'll tell you, if we got to pick a player of the game for the Lone Peak team, that's my guy right there, Freeman.
Yeah, Kobe Freeman, he's been pretty impressive.
So we watch it now, clock at 4.5. And this time, not that much there. Freeman couldn't get going on the near side. Gain of 2, second down, 8 yards to go. And again, remember, while we talk about all this, clock's running.
Yep, huge possession. They know that this might be the final possession of the game. They're not in a big hurry. They want to execute their offense.
Jones goes back, looks, fires it out there, and incomplete. And Kitchen did a great job, perfectly timed hit on the wideout over there, Trowbridge.
Quick update, Desert Hills taking care of Salem Hills now 49-10. Christian, California, the Patriots leading Hurricane 46-22. Juab up 7-3. Snow Canyon continues to lead, about to close out their second win of the season over Ridgeline.
Got some good stuff. And in trouble, now coming back with a quick pass to the near side. And it'll be well more than enough for a first down. Once again, Fisher got in there, D, but he kind of got pushed to the side, overran the quarterback, was circling around but couldn't get there in time. That allowed the pass to be made. And it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line for Lone Peak. 3:38 to go in the game. Not sure why time is out.
Last report.
Oh, resetting the clock, sorry.
One other score I was just going to pass along. And again, the guys will have this in the Region 9 wrap-up show after our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show here from Dixie High School. Lehigh and Pineview, last report, 21-14. Lehigh still had a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter. Some good games tonight.
I tell you, I'm impressed with Pineview. The handoff into that line, not much there. Again, Freeman doing the running. And he got short gain on that one.
Yeah, they're going to run that power behind big number 13, Mason Wake. And Dixie, though, good fight in them tonight. Segmiller coming up, Buddy Stevenson coming up.
Second down, 9 yards to go. 3:23 to go in the game. And defense gets there. Quarterback is sacked.
Tyson Fisher's too quick.
Yep.
This kid might punch his ticket to the big league someday. We know that he's got a lot of opportunities. He wants to go to Dixie State. He verbally committed to play baseball for Coach Fatenauer because he wants to pitch and play a position.
Yep.
And others just wanted him as pitching. He's still got his whole senior year coming up in baseball this spring, but boy, oh boy, he's so good at football. He could probably punch his ticket anywhere he wanted to go play next level football as well.
3rd and 14 yards to go.
Fisher
Hit as he lets go by Fisher.
He went outside and then darts inside, so he uses his speed, and then he finishes with the bull rush to push the lineman into the quarterback and blow that play apart. Watch Fisher steps back inside that offensive tackle, trying to hold his ground and just can't.
Yeah, he's a big kid, number 73. Pay is about 6'8", 295, but Fisher's got so much speed. So here we go, 4th and 14. Pressure coming over the middle, popped up and picked off by the Flyers. Kitchen with another catch. He goes down at the 43-yard line. That might be the dagger.
Yeah, only 2:35 to go in this game. 4th down, you're going for it here. Again, Fisher coming on the outside, steps up, has time, but put it right on the hands. But nice job by Staley to break it up. It pops up in the air, and Kitchen grabs it about the Flyer 45, takes it down to the 43 of Lone Peak. And now the Flyers can just try to work on that clock a little bit, maybe punch one more in, and try to get their second consecutive victory to start the 2017 season.
I think Lone Peak still has 2 timeouts that they can use, as does Dixie if they would like to.
Yep.
Dixie wants that clock to run, 2:35. Got a man open, a dive can't get there. You know, that's a case where they say, I'll tell you what, you just go out there. If you can get open, I'll get you the ball. Well, he got open, but he overthrew. Again, not only does that keep it 2nd and 10, but it stops that clock.
Hobbs a little frustrated there because he blew by Richie.
Yep.
He had 2-3 steps and just a little bit to the middle of the field to where he had to try to adjust and dive and just couldn't find it. And Hobbs still frustrated because he knew he had his 4th touchdown if that's on the money.
All right, here we go. 2nd down and 10. Flyers with the lead and the football. Hobbs in motion. Aquin up the middle, gets 5.
Got a little delayed draw there to Aquin. Force a timeout to be taken and stop the clock. 21-14 we're hearing, still Pineview trailing. They just missed a 37-yard field goal to try to inch closer against Lehigh. 7-point game here. Desert Hills scored again. I think it's 56-10. They're all over Salem Hills. Some winners, some losers. You know, Mike, last night, and it's a Hanks Riverwalk Grill timeout. Let's just keep it right here. But, 4-3 went Region 9 last night. But, some teams are playing up in classification. Others are playing down in classification. By the time Region 9 play rolls around, it's going to be a battle like it always is.
Amen, yeah.
And, about 7 or 8 years ago, you and I were doing broadcasts, and one night I just said, Mike, every time we get here, I expect the unexpected. And I feel like that just holds true every year. The kids change, the personnel changes. In a lot of cases, we had a lot of recent coaching changes down here in Southern Utah.
Right.
But the level of region football gets ratcheted up a notch. But I love the Flyers playing Lone Peak. And credit Lone Peak for saying, we'll play Dixie High. And, you saw Jordan come play Desert Hills last week. I mean, Dixie's going to Southern California. Desert Hills has got a game. Hurricanes playing a really good team from California. So, they're going out and they're challenging themselves with some top-notch opponents in the preseason.
Big 3rd down right now. 3rd down, about 6 yards to go. 2:26 to go in the game. Flyers with the ball as they switch from left to right. Back. Barman's in trouble, but he gets away, takes off, dives, and I believe has the 1st down.
Yeah, need to get to the 31, just inside the 32.
Very close.
Depends on the spot, doesn't it?
I think he got it.
I think you're right.
He did.
Barber in the pocket collapses. They rushed 4, and then the spy backer comes and makes the tackle, but Barbin gets enough of an angle away from him to dive ahead. That's a huge Fabulous Freddy's 1st down. Fuel it up, wash it down, and always feeling fabulous. And now one more 1st down, and you can about seal this deal.
Yeah, keep that clock running now. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the game. And the Flyers will slow the pace a little bit. Quinn gets the ball, goes right up the gut, breaks through, and he has a big gain. 1st down again by the Flyers. And the crowd got a little excited right there at the end. It looked like one of the Lone Peak players, I think, did, when he went after the ball. He reached over the top to knock it out. I think some of the fans thought he was trying to punch the player. I don't think so.
Well, that's 8 yards after contact. He was hit a yard in the backfield, and Amanoff Quinn with some yak yards right there. That's huge. And now you got that last time out off the board with 1:46 left on the Air Care Professional Heating and Cooling clock. Man, this has been a fun one, Mike, and I apologize. I know we're having some streaming difficulty for those of you on the sportsradio977.com, but if you're our TDS cable audience there on CEC TV, man, this has been fun. And you can see Coach Stokes, look at the fire in the huddle down there, but still calm and focused. He's building himself quite a dynasty. They kind of got snake bit last year. That injury to Barbin changed everything. They thought they had the team to win the title. And with him healthy and all the guys coming back, the way they've rebuilt so quickly, they're going to be a factor again this year, mark my words.
Under 2 to go in the game. It is 2nd and 2 yards to go. And Quinn is hit immediately, and he won't get the 2 yards. In fact, he'll lose a yard. It is 3rd down and 3 now for the Flyers. But another important factor, that clock keeps on running. Let's see if Lone Peak's going to let it run. It's 3rd down. They've got to let it run right now. And they're out of timeouts.
Yep,
okay.
They got to let it go.
I thought they had one more, but they're out. So Dixie looks like they're 1:20 away from their 2nd win on the new season. What a job tonight by the Flyers. Now there's a timeout Looks like Dixie was kind of confused. They had guys pulling, going left, going right. Let's take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be right back. 37-30 Dixie, back in 30.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
And we welcome you back to Dixie versus Lone Peak. Once again here at Walt Brooks Field, down to the final 1 minute and 10 seconds. It is third and about three and a half yards to go for the Flyers. Empty backfield. Barbin steps back over the middle, complete, going for 6. Got it. Touchdown!
25-yard touchdown, another one for Barbin, his 5th passing touchdown of this game. And this one goes to Peyton Hara on a slant route. And that was a tough catch in traffic. And once Hara caught it, the backer missed the tackle, and boom, right up the middle, 25 yards out, touchdown. Flyers going to win this football game.
Yeah, they'll put that one away. And boy, just what a job. You know, Devin, several times tonight we've seen Lone Peak come back, but the key in this game to me is that the Flyers had an answer every time. Every time they would have some answer as they continue to score. This one is up and good. We're going to keep it here. Once again, we certainly appreciate our great sponsors in our pregame. Sinister Orthodontics, keys to the game, brought to you by Camping World. Coach's comments, the locker room, and of course they're that local company with team apparel. Everyone from the Pee-wees to the pros, that is the locker room. And we do appreciate Sky Mountain Golf Course for our starting lineup sponsor as well.
Man, it's going to be tough to name some awards inside our Johnson Pediatric. I mean, that's a sneaky tough pass. It looked like he was going to go Hobbs over the top. He checks down to the slant route, and he threw that with some zip. You know, and he fit that in. That slant route, it's tough to complete that, and he put it on the hands. Jacob Barbin looks midseason form, and how about that catch from Peyton Hara? These receivers been making catches all night long.
I agree.
Barbin's going to put up huge numbers this year if this trend continues, because both the receivers and quarterback, the chemistry has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. If they can keep that kind of thing going, you bet. The kick is long, goes into the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line with 62 seconds to go in the game. But the Flyers have got this one wrapped up, barring one of the most miraculous finishes you've ever seen. But Dixie.
How about some scores real quickly here?
Let's look at it.
Falcons have scored 18-6. Their first points of the season down against Virgin Valley, 5:22 left in quarter number 3. And it is a final 30-10. Snow Canyon has officially finished off Ridgeline. Last update, Juab was leading Cedar 7-3. And last report we had, it was 21-14. Pineview was still trailing up at Lehigh.
So a last-ditch effort and nothing doing there. Breaking them down once again for the Flyers. That's Caden Williams. Williams got in the backfield and got to the QB. And now with 46 seconds to go. They will throw to the outside. Did he get under it? Looks like it. The ball is caught just short of the first down. Clock continuing to run. 34 seconds to go. So the Dixie Flyers going to go 2-0 on the young season. Lone Peak, I think, maybe a bit surprised. A long pass down, complete over the middle.
Nice pitch and catch there. One of their final, Desert Hills wins 56-10 over Salem Hills tonight. So they're number 3 team in 4A, now 1-1 after that 1-point overtime loss to Jordan last week.
Wow. 15 seconds to go. Time to throw. No one to throw to, as Jones finally just has to run out of bounds. And with 6 seconds down to 1 timeouts.
Yep.
Or excuse me, 1 play left. That's what
and just, you know, you had to have a quick score to have any chance at an onside kick. So even if you score here, you're not going to have time to get the onside kick and take a shot.
Yep, absolutely. So trips to the right side. It's only a 3-man rush. And a long pass is going to be nearly picked off. That's it. Game over. Officially in the books, and the Dixie Flyers get it 44-30.
They were considered 4-touchdown underdogs here against the big boys from Lone Peak, and this Lone Peak team's a good team, a top-ranked team in the state, top 10 team in the state, folks, and Dixie wins by 14. And everybody head to Yogurtland for your big score dessert compliments of Holbrook Asphalt. Huh? I'm feeling a little yogurt after
really.
And what a performance. How big of a statement game is this for the Dixie Flyers? Well, you've beaten 2 of the best bigger classified teams in the state in Springville and Lone Peak. I'd say it's a pretty big one, Mike.
I agree with you. I agree. I think they really made a statement here tonight.
I mean, Lone Peak's a 6A school. This is a powerhouse school, and Dixie got them by 2 touchdowns tonight. Unbelievable win for the underdog Cinderella story, Dixie Flyers, who you got to be enjoying it tonight if you're Coach Stokes and company.
And there are so many young men we can take a look at, and we're going to do just that because we're going to take a 90-second break. We'll come back. We'll open up the post-game show. We'll be naming some honors with our player of the game, playmaker play of the game, super sub of the game, and lots more. And then we're going to turn it over to the guys back in the studio, and they're going to wrap up all the games tonight.
Yeah, man, it's going to be fun. And back-to-back great games for us. You know, we had an overtime last week with Jordan and Desert Hills, and tonight we get a shootout between Lone Peak and Dixie. It's been a fun start to the season for all you watching or listening on ESPN Radio or CEC TV. I hope this trend continues because I'm having fun, and if you're not having fun watching, you're just not a fan of football.
There you go. All right, let's cut it back. Let's just take a 60-second timeout. We'll be back with the post-game show. Again, the final, Flyers 44, the Knights 30, back in 1.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent? What? Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
All right, we are back. It is the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Thanks so much for joining us. And I tell you, we're sitting here looking at each other and go, okay, who should we do that? There's a lot of guys, D, that played their hearts out here tonight.
Boy, Barbin to Hera, Barbin to Mahi, Barbin to Hobbs, Barbin to Hobbs, Barbin to Hobbs, Nyberg again. I mean, I love it. Lots to talk about. We got to name our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game, and then we got to name our Dad's Trucking Play of the Game. We got to search and find somebody that was the super sub of the game, maybe somebody from the defense, because that defense, I mean, holding these big 6A boys, Lone Peak, to 30 points was pretty dang impressive. And looks like pretty much all the games are going final except for the one down in Mesquite. And Pineview's got about 2 minutes to go. Lehigh has the football, and the Panthers are down 7. They got some timeouts, so still that one on 890 AM or 94.9, and the guys will have a full recap for you coming up when we're done. But, yeah, where do we start, Mike?
Wow.
Maybe we start with some highlights for our television audience.
There you go.
There was a ton of big plays in this game, and I'll tell you, Brock Jones, the quarterback for Lone Peak, and I'll tell you what, I was impressed with him. I was impressed with Kobe Freeman. Kobe Freeman played his butt off tonight, that running back, but Jacob Barber and Hobbs Nyberg and Nate Mahi and Peyton Hara, Matt Kitchen defensively, Tyson Fisher.
Yeah.
We got so many guys that deserve a ton of recognition in this game tonight. It's kind of hard to go with just one, but this game was, it was 3-0 early, and then all of a sudden Dixie caught fire, but you just didn't feel like the lead was safe. And sure enough, here come Lone Peak, and both teams kept stealing the momentum for a possession or two. But I think the ultimate difference, and we talked about this with the Camping World Keys to the Game, it was the turnovers.
Amen.
The Dixie defense just created, they have 4 or 5 turnovers. I lost track. I think they ended with 4
I think you're right.
on the game, and it was just huge, and that's why they ended up going on to win 44-30 here tonight over 6A school.
It was a very impressive win, just from top to bottom, and yet sometimes it seems easy to pick and honor a couple players. Sometimes it seems very hard, and I tell you what, though, someone stuck their head in there and says, hey, we got to give the defense a little pat on the back one way or the other. So
we're told 1:12 left, Pineview and Lehigh. And
Lehigh's still up by 7?
Yeah, Lehigh's still up 7. I know that Pineview's starting to use some timeouts, trying to get the ball back. That's all I can tell you. And again, the guys will have a full recap on that coming up in just a minute. Let's talk about Hobbs Nyberg for just a second. Mike, you've done games for a long time. I mean, we've had some electrifying receivers over the years, but man, this kid just amazed me. And I think today, really, and last week he scored and did a lot of things. I think there's no doubt in my mind he was very deserving of the preseason MVP ballot, and he beat out a guy that's getting recruited by Michigan, Notre Dame, and all these schools like USC and Washington State, Utah, BYU, Alabama, and Penei Sewell to be an offensive lineman. Was second behind Hobbs Nyberg, and he showed us why tonight. He can do everything.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Nyberg, I think what's happened with Nyberg is we've seen him. I think we've said it several times. It's like he's been playing for Dixie forever, and not just in football. He's been in baseball, and he does the job here in football, but he's a kid that you've seen get better and better. And I tell you, I just believe he has grown into his talent here as a senior. The kid might be a little cocky, but he deserves it, and he handles it well. I think he knows what he can do, and he goes out and he does it game after game after game, and he just has a way, and I said it before, it's an old adage, but the kid has a nose for the football. He knows how to get there, what to do. He either has a little lunge left, a quick final step, or just a good little half step to get out of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that middle screen was executed so well. I think that's got to be a nominee for our AWP Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. But, I mean, you're up 7. You don't want to give the ball back to Lone Peak. And that slant he hits to Peyton Hara to seal it. I think I'm going that one because at the time, so often you get old conservation mode and you're like, well, let's just run the ball. Let's burn as much clock. Let's make them use our timeouts. Dixie kept taking shots, Mike. They kept running their offense, and it worked out perfectly. So I think the Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game's got to be that 25-yard strike there to seal the deal right there.
I like that. And there's a defensive play late in the game, and I mentioned at the time, when Lone Peak was driving a little tip of the ball, and Matt Kitchen came up with his second pick on the night, which stopped the drive, and that kept him out. But I agree with you, and I like the call, so we'll go with that as our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game. Now, a lot of guys, and we've certainly talked a lot about Mr. Hobbs Nyberg, but we got to sing the praises of number 13, Jacob Barbin, here tonight as well.
Yeah.
Kid was fantastic.
Yeah, and I apologize. We don't have up-to-the-minute live stats. Coach Stoke was going to send those as soon as the game, and we're going to try to get those back to the studio. But, Mike, I wouldn't be surprised if he had 450, 500 yards of offense tonight. And I think Hobbs was over 200 receiving. I think Hara had at least $150 somewhere in that neighborhood. I again, apologize. We didn't have live stats. But Wilkinson's our stat sponsor. We'll get those to you in the wrap-up show. But, man, oh, man, there was a lot of offense here tonight for Dixie, and you got to give a huge amount of credit to Jacob Barber. The touch he is And this kid, you got to go back to when he got injured last year. He had that same injury to the foot that Hill had at BYU when he sat out the whole year. What's it called, the Liz Frank?
Liz Frank, yep.
And that's a 10, 12-month injury.
Absolutely.
And it happened at the end of last year, and he has worked his tail off. He was in a cast for 3-4 months. He had to brace after that. He kept throwing. He kept doing upper body stuff. He kept lifting. And then as soon as he was able, he got conditioned. And, he's probably not 100%. He might not be all season, but that kid's got nails, and he's got moxie, and he's a gamer. And the touch he's put on the ball, he's an Elite 11 quarterback, Mike, and he's a next-level kid. And I think he has got to be your Dad's Trucking Player of the game tonight.
I agree. I think it's actually kind of an easy call. He did everything. Well, he did nearly everything. He was very, very good tonight. He definitely stepped it up. I think an easy call. So we go with number 13, Jacob Barbin, as the Dad's Trucking Player of the game. And
let's go defensive and give it to Tyson Fisher, though, huh?
Yeah.
And an honorable mention to Matt Kitchen.
I know.
I mean, Kitchen moves from Snow Canyon to Dixie. Comes in, Coach Stokes said, hey, you're at the bottom of the depth chart. Pick a position.
Yeah.
Works his way up and got a bunch of reps. He didn't play every snap tonight on defense, but he played the majority of them. And he came up with some
big. And he made the best of his situation.
Yeah, I mean, he was flat on an angle on one of the big scores from Lehigh where he was the only guy that could make a tackle, but he's only going to get better, more comfortable with all the schemes that Dixie's trying to run as the season moves on. Yeah.
So all right, and I agree. I think it's good because you got to give big old number 18 some high props on his game tonight.
Yeah.
We'll call him the super sub of the game because I think he submarined the quarterback so many times.
And you can't undervalue what he did in the punt game. I mean, he pinned him at the 1, he pinned him inside the 20, I think 4 times. He had a 61-yard punt, folks, and pinned him at the 1-yard line in the second half when they needed it, when, Lone Peak is trying to grab that momentum back. And, Tyson Fisher did a little bit of everything, very deserving. And, boy, oh boy, I mean, what he does on the baseball diamond, what he does on the football field, this kid's an athlete.
Hey,
and this is not the first Fisher, that big family. And, remember the twins?
I do remember
They went on to play at Dixie State in the Y. And, in fact, there's Tyson Fisher's dad right over there. And he's got, I think his grandpa's like 7 foot.
Okay, you mean that guy that's head and shoulders above everybody else over there? Okay.
You're coming up to the booth saying hi right there. But you know what? It's been fun to see the Flyers get this victory. And we're just kind of discussing all of our awards. The Jimmy John Super Sub of the game, you could go a number of guys. There's some newcomers defensively that I was just really impressed with. You and I both didn't see Dixie live last week.
That's right.
But Stuart Segmiller, Jake Staley, Famanui, Marshall Smith came in and did a really nice job. Buddy Stevenson we knew about. I was impressed with Connor Walden there in the defensive nose tackle on the other side of Fisher and Caden Williams. So plenty of praise to go around. Hard to pick just one Jimmy John Super Sub of the game tonight. You almost got to go with somebody on the defensive side of the football.
I agree. And there could be any of them. I started out calling Jake Staley's name a lot, but couple of guys stepped up and made it happen. So
yeah, no doubt about it. So again, congratulations, Dad's Trucking Player of the game, Jacob Barbin. I'm going to hook him up with the Sports Clips MVP haircut over there. Get the MVP treatment. One of our great sponsors, Dad's Trucking, your quality service carrier, running strong since '88, and of course they deliver you Jacob Barbin. And really, if you get a chance, go over to Ernie's or Ernie's 2 or any of their Sinclair stations. Grab a snack, fuel up. Beaver, Mesquite, or not Mesquite, but Hurricane. They got a location out there. They're now in Cedar City, and then, of course, top of the boulevard here in St. George. And Appliance Wholesalers Plus, you agree with me on that 25-yarder? That was pretty big.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we'll go with that one as our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game. Appreciate Shane and Jesse, the boys that sell GE. They also got Samsung now in. So I go over there to AWP, and they've got a little iPod on the new Samsung fridge.
Oh, yeah.
And you can go to TuneIn Radio, and the guys let me put it on 97.7 ESPN, and they said, we'll just leave it there. So any of the customers coming in, you're going to listen to the little
Stop
ESPN
in, check
radio.
the appliances, and catch what's happening with the Double D program.
They're great.
Right there,
They're
man.
great guys over there, and you can save some money. Go ask for Jesse or Shane or any of the guys over there at Appliance Wholesalers Plus. It's easier to think to buy direct across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. Appreciate Jimmy Johns, of course, Dr. Cody. I think they're still in postgame. We're kind of buying ourselves just a couple minutes so we can link up for the Region 9 wrap-up show. I was trying to check a final score on Pineview before we leave the airways, but again, I can tell you Virgin Valley still in the fourth quarter. They lead 18-6. Juab beat Cedar 14-3, so Cedar drops to
Drops
0-2.
0-2, yeah.
Snow Canyon outlasts Ridgeline 30-10. Big pick 6 by Brock Nowatzki in that game that really turned the tides. Desert Hills, they trailed 7-0, and after losing a heartbreaker last week, they romped 56-10 tonight. And then Pine View's the only one I'm still waiting on a final score for the Pine View Panthers. And the guys will obviously have that for you in the wrap-up show. And it's over there on 890 KDXU, and I'm not quite sure if it's final or not at this point in time.
Yeah, we haven't heard. We were trying to get that information for you and pass it along as we wind it up here in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry show. We certainly appreciate, again, all the sponsors who have stepped in tonight, made our broadcast possible. We look forward to another great week coming up next week. So we invite you to join us for that. 2 big games, one, of course, on KDXU and one right here on 97.7 FM.
Yeah, Hurricane also did fall tonight. I think it's a final to a California school, the Christian Patriots. Last report we had that the Tigers were down by 20-plus points. That was a good team. I don't think people realized how good a team that was coming in.
You got that right.
Hurricane scored some points on those guys tonight.
All right, any finals there, D? Are we about ready to wrap it up, and we'll throw it back to the studio?
We got to save something for the boys back in the studio, don't we?
Okay, we got to give them something to talk about.
That's right. That's right. Yep, we'll sign off, and Andy and the guys will get your reaction. They'll even take your phone calls. Anybody wants to call in on the game or comment on who they liked as the play of the night. They're going to have some audio clips, some highlights for you, and have a lot of fun. And you guys don't forget to go to Yogurtland. The Holbrook Asphalt Big Score dessert is on for Snow Canyon fans, for Flyer fans, Tiger fans. If you want to come on over as well, I think they scored over 25 tonight. So a lot of points being scored in Region 9 in Week 2 of the high school football season. And we sure appreciate our title sponsor, Findlay Volkswagen, and all of our other great partners along the network. And great job in the truck from our CEC TV crew. Apologize, we don't have the final highlights, but we'll get these all posted for you on the CEC YouTube channel. We'll try to get some out on social media as well. And maybe check your local news tonight. Maybe we can get these up north, and some of the Channel 4 boys can showcase the Flyers taking down the Lone Peak Knights.
There you go. We'll be glad to see that on there, won't we?
Yeah.
All right, Flyers get it done once again here tonight. That's going to wind it up from Mike McGarry and Double D Devin Dixon here from Walt Brooks Field. But don't go away. Plenty more sports action coming your way in the wrap-up show. On behalf of Double D, Mike saying good night from Walt Brooks Stadium.